I was a terrible entrepreneur once I started because what I didn't realize is this. I didn't realize that I had to love the pain in the
Yes.
process.
You have to be willing to take pain. You're willing to have delayed gratification. There's times where I'll go months without taking a paycheck because you make sure your employees get paid first. Reoccurring revenue is a gift from God. For 20 years, we've started fresh every morning. We hope we have someone comes in. Faith is number one. When entrepreneur, your number one word as an entrepreneur, number one, I don't care who or what you believe in, it's faith. You have to have faith that it's going to work out. You have to have faith that the sales are going to come in. You have to have faith that people are going to come to your brand. You have to have faith, but you have to also put into that faith effort. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Real Deal Talk. Oh, yeah, we're back, baby. Yes. All right, folks, if you could just keep it down. Oh, my gosh, we have soundtracks now? We're a legit show. Now, yes. I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a soundtrack. I've made it. I've officially made it. I have, what's that? Are they called soundtracks? What are they called? Sound effects? They're called sound. I don't even know what they're called. Sound effects.
You are truly the real deal now.
Yes. I'm so excited. He caught me off guard there. I didn't know he was going to do that. I'm going to do this the whole show, like every other word. People are going to be like, they're going to start tuning out. We're done with this. All right, so let's get back to business here. I'm already off track. The guest in house today is very special because I met this guy recently within the last year, and we've interacted maybe a couple times, maybe. So, folks, please help me welcome Mr. Ollie Amirkhiz. Nice? Was that it?
Nailed it.
Here we go with this.
It's 7:30 in the morning and you nailed it.
Amirkhiz. And so you guys are gonna, and this is how I do it. You guys all know that watch the show or listen to the show, that I get to know my guests on the air live in front of people. And this is the same thing. Like I barely know, I know that you are in the space of helping brands grow. That I know.
Right.
Okay. And we're going to dig into your backstory a little bit here. And I know you want to come back at me with some stuff too, because you're just, you're obsessed with the show is what you said. You said you love what's going on here. So I appreciate that, man. But we're going to get into your backstory a little bit. Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Where were you born and raised? What are you?
Okay.
What is this?
So,
what am I looking at here? Is this a Persian? Oh, there. I got
Persian.
it. Okay, great.
You nailed it.
I did.
So I was actually born in El Paso, Texas.
Huh.
So my dad, when your family was doing well over there, you could afford to send your kids to school here. So my dad went to UTEP. And so I was born here, and then they decided to go back. And then the revolution happened. They decided to come back.
Yeah.
And thank goodness, because, my kids get to grow up here, and it's just like, I love this country. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
How many kids do you have?
Three boys.
Kids?
3 boys.
Wow.
18, 16, and 14.
No
and way. JD, they are so savage. I look at them sometimes. I'm like, man, all right.
Dude, that's crazy. So 3 boys.
3 boys.
All within 2 years.
All within 2 years. You got to get them all in within 6 years, right?
Where's that written?
I don't know. I just made it up.
I don't know when they're that close, especially when they're younger. Tell me how many fights there were per day.
They didn't need enemies. Yeah, they had plenty of fights. Guys, please. Like, I think it just becomes a habit. You're like, guys, please stop fighting. Like, can we get along? I think the most beautiful moment would be the moment where I just see them just have brotherhood. Those moments are so rare.
Right. Like 1% of the time.
So it's like a unicorn, but it is. And I think that's also, we'll get into this later, that's why events like Emerge, I think are so important for younger.
Absolutely.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
That's exciting for me. But having 3 boys, like, I'm so excited to dig into this because I said it to you offline, I wasn't really proud of the man I was about a year ago. You look in the mirror and you're like, dude, am I really making an impact on this world?
Yeah.
Am I making an impact? And if the answer is no, I'm like, life is changing. Change is going to bring change.
Hopefully. Like,
Wow.
because you got a lot of people that don't think that way.
Oh,
In fact, the
yeah.
majority
Yeah.
are so caught up in the mundane, the routine. Just live. You got to do this. You got to get married. You got to have, right? You.
Yeah. 1000%. Like I walked through most of my life as a victim.
Wow.
And what ended up happening is because I'm surrounded with people that live life differently on a different wavelength, you have no choice. You have two choices. You either level up or you level out.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Because like how much do you feel sorry for people that don't step up for themselves?
Do I feel sorry for them?
Yeah. Like if you continue to self-sabotage and you've done it consistently
I
your life,
feel
is that
bad that
Right.
they're going to miss out on life, what life is all about.
right?
But do I have compassion for them? Not really. I don't.
I was overweight. I showed you my picture, and
Yeah,
I
couldn't
felt
believe that was
sorry
you.
for.
Yeah, I couldn't
Thank
believe
you,
that was you.
thank you.
I was like, this is not you.
It was me, and it was the worst version of me. Like what I've learned about myself is if my wellness and health isn't on point, I'm failing.
Yeah.
Every day I'm failing because I'm self-sabotaging in the worst way imaginable. We got one body. It took me 48 years to
Wow.
really learn that wellness is everything. You don't skip on your well-being.
Yeah.
Mental, physical, spiritual, all of those things. Like if you give yourself the best version of yourself every day, you win in life,
Yeah.
regardless of results. It just took me a lot longer as a man to realize that. Now I'm all passionate about like, okay, let's be real. Let's talk
Yeah.
real. Like, let's really dive into not everything is glorious.
Right.
Social media is social media. It's entertainment. That's what it is. Like, but podcasts, things like this, where you're sitting down with someone that has accomplished a lot and then you go through your life journeys and you're willing to challenge yourself to get better. It's so funny to me that you said, he's a brand expert. Do you know what I do for a living? This is hilarious.
I really don't.
I know. I'm a mortgage advisor. I'm in real estate. I love being a mortgage advisor. But that was the mistake I made, JD. I did so much time on my branding, people didn't know what I do.
Yeah.
So now when I get on a show like this, I'm like, hey, everyone, I love helping families. I'm a mortgage advisor and I do real estate the right way, which is based on connection and relationship.
I had no idea.
I know. And whose fault is that? Mine. So the advice that I give people now, like yourself, is like, don't do what I did. Do the exact opposite of what I did.
Yeah.
Because if you're not offering what your services are every single day, nobody else is going to do it for you.
Right.
Nobody's going to go around being like, oh, hey, by the way, Ollie's a great mortgage advisor if I'm not doing it. So I think now I just get very focused on the most important things on social media, which is be authentic, be real. What's your differentiated value? And then how are you making offers? Those are the easiest things you could do to build a personal brand.
I was just gonna ask the question or lead into it when you were going there. How important is it? And I know we're already getting off on I was trying to get into your backstory. We're off the backstory already. Don't worry, folks. I will get back there. You know how I am. I never let anybody get past the backstory. But anyway, how important is the personal brand when it comes to tying it in with the business brand? How important is that?
I think it's one and the same. Think about it this way. Who has more followers, Elon Musk or Tesla?
True. Easy answer.
Tim Cook or Apple? It's Mark Zuckerberg. All of these guys are building their personal brands because it doesn't matter once you build that trust and connection, the product, if they believe in what your messaging is and they believe in who you are and what you're doing, good or bad, sometimes people will still do business with you.
And on that note, like how important is to have when it's bad or have haters?
I'm actually very grateful for haters because they help me get better. So maybe they see something that I don't see and I'm like, oh, maybe I did come across like a-hole there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let me not do that. So I think don't take it personal. See if there's value in it. Thank them. I love thanking them for their comments. Like they literally took the time. JD, think about how much, it's hard to get comments and engagement.
So hard.
Okay. They took the time to do it.
It's like
you should be
impossible.
thankful. They're helping you. your algorithm.
My biggest, I don't like fans, I guess we call them, or whatever, people that love my content, what I'm doing, even they don't comment. The ones who absolutely love what I'm doing, like they're obsessed with the show, they don't take the time. So when a hater takes the time, I celebrate the most in my life when a quote unquote hater makes a negative comment on anything that I'm doing. Like I'm getting more right now. It means I'm actually doing something. I'm so excited by it. And I do, just like you said, I thank them. Folks, thank your haters. If they took the time to actually comment. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you have no haters in your life, like literally no one's hating on you right now, it's not a good sign. I'm sorry to say.
I couldn't agree
It's not a
with
good sign.
you. It's that fear of people aren't going to like my content. It stops like 80%
Correct.
of people
Exactly.
from doing anything.
Yep.
So they're just like, well, my family's going to get frustrated. And my mom gave me some very direct feedback about what she thinks about my content and branding.
Tell me.
It was not, I'm not telling you. She would crush me. Okay. She literally said,
Sum it up.
She literally said, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? I'm like, Mom, it's marketing. And I love her to death. She just doesn't get the whole.
She was horrified.
She was horrified. She literally was horrified.
Why? What were you doing?
I wasn't doing anything. I was just like, the whole recording video for some people, it's just not their thing.
Right.
So, she doesn't understand the podcast and those types of things. And for me, it's all about getting to know people. It's about the relationship, because I think podcasting is such a unique opportunity where you get to spend an hour, 2 hours, no distractions. How many times in a week
It never
do you get
happens.
that?
Okay. Never.
There
Never.
you go.
Yeah. Now I realize why I go so long, because I don't have any time where I just chill. I don't.
It's therapy.
This is it. This is my therapy. So, folks, I'm going to thank all of you for witnessing my therapy. This is great.
Okay.
I just realized it.
I want to do something for your audience. So, a lot of the times you said something that is really powerful, which is the people that love you the most, your biggest fans, the people that give you the compliments, say, I love your show. I think what they can do is share your great content.
Yeah.
And I highly encourage, if you love the host, you love the show, go support them in this way. Okay. This is the best way to do it. First, you comment on the post that hit.
Yeah.
And talk about.
By post, do you mean on Instagram, YouTube?
It doesn't matter what platform. Because at the end of the day, whatever your preference of platform is, I don't want to force people to go on a platform they're not comfortable with. I'd much rather you just engage. Because if you are creating content, especially for YouTube, leverage it on all the platforms. But YouTube is the primary focus, and there's a simple reason for it. First, it gets more views than Netflix.
Wow.
Second, Google. Google owns YouTube. Of course they're going to, it's just going to work. And so all that evergreen content, how many episodes have you recorded?
Over 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well
over 100.
You could literally stop for 2 years and just use all those 100 episodes as content, and it looks like you're doing it real time. It's wild.
Can repurpose all of them.
All of it is evergreen. B-roll. You have other content. And the cool thing is, JD, this blows my mind away. How cool is it? Your kids get to go back in 2 to 3 years, watch. Okay. You could let them know what episode to watch.
Right.
But they could go and watch, oh, look, Dad was, 2 3 years ago. Those are memories that are always captured. It's like a living timeline. And when you look at it like that, like a time capsule, you're like, wow, this is really cool. I'm so glad that I started, because if you go back and look at your old content from 2 years ago, how much have you progressed as a human being, as a person, as a business owner? It's wild to see that.
Yeah. And by the way, anybody that's listening or watching right now, that's because I have so many people come up to me now that say, man, I'm really thinking about doing a podcast. Where do I start? And I always say, here's where you start. Listen, here's where I started. I started doing stories on Instagram. Story is really simple. You hit the record button, you walk around, you go like this for 60 seconds, press this, send, and you're done. It's that simple. So it was really simple for me. So I'd walk around and do commentary on stuff. And people got a kick out of it. I noticed I was getting hundreds and hundreds of watchers on every story, and people started commenting, dude, you need to do a podcast. That's what inspired me. So let me volley that to you for people that are saying, I really want to do one. I don't know where to start. What do you think is, and that's what I said,
Yeah.
start doing stories, get your audience, get them revved up a little bit, see if they enjoy, and just be you, talk about things. Hey, I'm here at the grocery store today. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
oh, I'm about to seal. Don't be selling, show your life, your lifestyle, your thing. So go from there on how important it is for people that have a business or whatever to just do something, or maybe a podcast or whatever.
When it comes to podcasting, I will say if you want to create like engaging content that's real and authentic, I wouldn't personally do a podcast because the time consumption,
Yeah. And the cost, yeah.
the cost is obscene. Like if you want to do a podcast, I think people are blown away. It costs $1,000 for me to do
Yeah.
one episode roughly, and that's like hour. So if it goes 2 hours, that cost doubles because it's expensive when you do it in
Correct.
a studio.
Yeah.
So it depends on where you're at as an entrepreneur or a business owner. I think if you're well established, go spend the money.
Right.
Because if you hire a professional, and what I mean by professional is this, go look at their reviews and then talk to their clients and say, did they deliver what they committed to you? Because most of the great content creators that I know, if you tell them like, hey, I want to go viral, they're very honest with you and say very few people are going to go viral. Podcasting, I also think you got to be pretty comfortable in your own skin as a host.
Right.
Like not every host can get the very best out of people. And then what's going to end up happening is you're going to spend a lot of money and not be happy with the results because you can't carry the whole entire conversation because you're doing more listening
Right.
than you are talking if you're an effective host.
Should be.
See where I said if you're an effective
Right,
host.
right. Yes, yes.
Exactly. And I get it because entrepreneurs, we're alpha. What we want to do is we have vision. We're all about it. It's not about you. That's not why the person took their time to come on your show. So I honor and make sure that I connect with them, that I set them up for success because I know there's a lot of nerves that go into it. Not everybody's comfortable on camera. And so when you make someone feel amazing, you're going to have a phenomenal episode. How many people can deliver that? A few. So I think it's better to go other people's shows.
And okay, other people's shows.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're thinking about it now, let's say they can't get on someone else's show, but they just want to start putting themselves out there.
You can't get on everyone's show.
Oh yeah,
you can't.
Okay,
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
Okay. If I were a business owner right now and I saw this podcast episode, I would send you a DM. I would get in touch with you and be like, okay, JD, I'm starting out. This is what my budget is. I want to come on your show. If I paid $1,000 and you vet me and you look at and you want to share my story, would you be willing to do that? I would do it 1,000% if it's someone's story that I want to share.
Yeah.
I'm super picky with the stories I want to share just because like it's also attaching them to my brand.
Correct.
And I would rather just vet everyone, make sure that like, hey, let's have synergy, let's have bond. Because I've had episodes that were terrible and I didn't publish.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We just deleted the episode and I apologized to the person. I said, hey, I just don't think it's a good mesh with my audience. And thank you for the time I gave them the episode. Just cut us all out. So I still want to respect that person, but not everyone. I don't like sharing someone. Like if our values are so different,
yeah,
it's all good. Do you, but I don't necessarily want you on my platform.
And I've had over 100 guests on my show and I've never charged anybody for one show ever.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Is this something I should be doing?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What is that just so they can get the content?
Yeah, because
but if they come on the show and they don't get the content.
Not every host can do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me quantify this. Not every host, because you have to be so powerful in your podcast that the content is worth purchasing.
Right. Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because you have a dynamic personality. Like you could carry a whole episode by yourself based on your dynamic personality. I think that's a hard skill. And then being able to stay silent, let the person finish their thought.
Yeah.
And then you're actively listening because then you're like, oh, okay, this is going down. Do you know how many people I've had cry on my show?
A lot.
Obscene.
Yeah.
I've cried on my show and it is wild. And JD, that is wild that you could connect with someone that you barely just met and they're so emotionally connected to you. They're like, okay, being vulnerable. So, and I think that's the power of having a podcast. If you could do it, this is the best. Podcasts and shows are it because the content you could create in like 2 hours or 1 hour takes care of a month.
At least, maybe even more.
Done.
And by the way, almost every guest cries in here.
Oh,
almost,
do they?
Almost everyone, yeah.
Okay, Eric Lawrenson.
He didn't. That guy's. He was a freaking Green
Yeah,
Beret.
I know. That would have been impressive.
Yeah. Almost everyone. Yeah. So it's a thing. All right. So if they're like, what if they're again going back? Where do they start? Was because I advise just start doing stories. See if you get comfortable.
Want that whatever platform you're on, TikTok, Instagram, it just become aware of the platform, like what's working, the people that are actually having success.
Right.
Be real, and then record 100 videos. So JD, I do not talk to anyone about how they show up on camera or anything like that until they record 100 videos. Now, I've challenged a lot of people to do it, and it's hard because you're judging yourself all the time.
All the time.
You're judging yourself, and what you got to do is get over it.
Because nobody actually cares.
Nobody cares. Only 10% of your
cares what you look like.
JD, do you want to know what was crazy? I looked up a stat. Only 10% of your audience sees your stories anyway. So if you posted every single day, only 10% of your actual audience is like engaging with it. So you got nothing to lose. Like, just keep posting the same things when you create engaging content. But I do pay attention to the content that people interact with. There's a reason.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to your audience, the funny thing is they have all your answers.
Yeah.
Because if they like your stuff, they're saying, give me more of that. If nobody's engaging, give me less of that.
It's funny because the last podcast or 2 podcasts ago, Eric Lawrence, Green Beret, I was excited to interview him because it's a Green Beret. I wanted to dig into military and talk Green Beret stuff. Next thing you know, we're on health and wellness for 2 hours. It's my most watched, downloaded, and shared podcast in years. It blew up. Like you said, your audience will let you know they're hungry for this information, health and wellness right now. It blew up. It's insane. The people that are sharing it. To your point, and then going back to the people that are recording the 100 video thing. Let's go deeper on this because I want people to understand and get over the fact and understand that nobody freaking cares. Barely anybody's even actually listening to your content because they're watching on the fly. Most people don't even turn the volume up, right? Most people don't care if the angle's wrong or the lighting isn't good on your face. Nobody cares. And most people aren't. And so do the caption. How fancy does it have to be? It doesn't have to be fancy at all.
Wait, okay. So
talk about that.
If I'm just getting started out, start with creating content, all I would do is don't make it complicated. Figure out what your 4 pillars are. This is the 4 things I want to talk about. And there's so many AI tools that you can use that can actually help you build a personal brand. And we're going to start giving free stuff away like that just teaches people. Go to ChatGPT, like, hey, this is what my passions are. These are what my pillars are.
Yeah, talk about this. Like how do they come down to what their actual content is about?
Yeah. So for me, I'll just talk about mine. My 4 pillars are the boys.
Yep.
Okay. Being a professional at what I do, like really getting great and telling that story. How do people use me as a mortgage advisor? And it's all built on relationships. The other thing is being the best version of myself every day. What does that look like? Is it reading? Is it, that's not that difficult. And then last but not least, faith and impact.
Yeah. What
am I doing to make my community better? So I used to think like, hey, I want to be this national lender. Like I want to be everywhere. No, I don't. First city I care about is San Diego. I just want to be known in San Diego. Like as long as I'm a powerhouse brand in San Diego, I'm super happy. Like we have one of the best cities in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Why am I worried about the US when I can't even dominate my hometown?
Right. I love this point. Great point. Because I was thinking about too, like you even said in here, JD, let's just make sure that you're known in San Diego. Like you're the guy. That's it.
Well, you are the guy.
Start there.
You are the guy in San Diego.
There.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, this is a future episode. I'm going to manifest this 2 years from now. This will be a soundbite that you're going to hold on to. So I have interviewed, do you recall what I said, what test I do with people to see how well they are aware of social media? I do the Jeff Finster test. You know who Jeff Finster is,
of course.
right?
Yeah, he was on my podcast.
He was on your podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. He's got an incredible podcast. He owns Everbowl.
Right.
Okay. So the funny thing to me is when I interviewed him when he had store number 19, JD, I had no doubt he was going to explode.
Yeah.
You spoke to him. He talked about like how he lived, how he operated his business, his mentors, his coaches. And that's the one common theme with people that are excelling in life. Their proximity and their circle is so incredible because they challenge you to elevate,
Yeah.
you know, because I have people like, I have people like Jason and you, I'm like, whoa, let's go. That's what feeds me. So my 4 pillars every day, I'm living it because I literally sat down and wrote it down.
Yeah.
Then I fed it into ChatGPT and some of my favorite, okay, I'm going to give a hack I've never given. Okay. So what I do is I love to read on Audible. I'm just like you. I'm a big Audible fanatic now. I'll take like Alex Hermosi, Chris Do, Seth Godin, and those are like my coaches on content creation. So I fed it, and then it just basically helps me produce incredible content. Hey, create a dynamic prompt. So I think if people, when they're first starting out, used ChatGPT as their branding coach, they would know exactly what to record because it's smart enough to do it for you. Then all you got to do is be brave enough to
put the camera on.
Yeah.
And so go further here. What does that mean? They're gonna, like, when you put into ChatGPT, what's it gonna tell you?
Okay, well, so you can be as creative as this. Create a dynamic prompt to help me get, become #1 mortgage advisor in the Poway community. What are the important things that homeowners looking in Poway are resonating with? And create a hook, a body. Give me the whole thing, and it'll do it for you.
Interviews brought to you by Real Deal Wellness. This is my wife and I started a wellness center about a few months ago, and this is a big deal because we're making wellness affordable for everyone. That's the mission here. We offer red light therapy, cryotherapy, infrared sauna, compression therapy, halotherapy, which is dry salt therapy, at a price that's never been seen before in the wellness industry. It's a membership-based business. You join, you have unlimited access to our center for less than $100, $99 a month, Real Deal Wellness. Come down, join the club, join the mission. Let's go.
And it'll do it for you. And then what you do, okay, so this is another step. After it does that, then you print it out and you start putting it into your own words so it doesn't sound robotic.
Right.
Most people don't go that extra step. So they just get kind of lazy about it. And you can't be lazy. Like it's you, it's who you are. And if you want people to get an opportunity to connect with you, you got to be authentic and spend the time. I think you pick up a second job. Like you have to invest a lot of time in doing the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty.
That's what makes it tough because we're also being an entrepreneur, running our daily lives. And now I got to become a content creator.
Yeah.
That's what makes it hard.
It's daunting.
It is daunting.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'll be honest with you. Content creation is exhausting.
Yeah. Totally.
That's why when you get to a point where you can hire out a team,
yes,
do it.
But in the beginning, keep it as simple as possible.
Your story, okay. Funny thing, I post more stories on Instagram than I do reels, and most of my non-followers come from stories.
Yeah.
So you could get the same like traction with stories that you can with reels, but what I don't do any longer is I don't battle the platform.
What does that mean?
What I mean by that is whatever the platform wants you to do, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing most people don't like is you got to pay.
What do you mean?
You got to run paid ads. So now that we help certain brands, what we do is help them create a commercial. And then we're going to run paid ads behind that commercial so more people see them. And the cool thing is because we're all about authenticity, you get to meet the real business owner and that gives people an opportunity to connect with them. So as you run paid ads, that's a faster way to get to the top because you have the money to be able to spend on it. That's where I would encourage people to do when they're first starting off. Create a great piece of content that resonates with your audience. Then can you make a commercial off of it and then put some money behind it and see what it does? Because it's all about experimenting. These people that think that they're going to go, do you know what the #1 red flag is where I won't work with the business owner at all?
What?
They say, I want to go viral.
Red flag.
Oh, we're done. No, there's no red flag. We're just
the
real deal. The real deal is I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
JD, I have recorded thousands of videos, never gone viral.
Thousands.
I've never gone viral.
Yeah.
That's how hard it is.
Yeah. Really hard.
It's really hard. And then what's the value?
Exactly. What exactly?
No, I'm asking you. You've recorded.
You're kind of popular.
But
then what happens?
What do you get?
Pretty much nothing.
I'm popular with people that followed me for one
video
piece of content. So I got all these followers that actually is counterproductive to your brand. It's counterproductive.
Explain that.
So what I mean by that is this. How important is it that you get real engagement from your audience?
Real engagement.
Yeah.
Pretty important.
I would say it's number one because those are the people that are tuning in.
Yeah.
Like you have a channel, you have a brand. So I'm tuning in to see JD.
Yep.
If I like JD, I'm going to do business with JD. These fake follower or these people that follow you for one reel, they just tune in for that one thing.
Right.
They're not necessarily going to become customers or clients.
Right.
So I much rather keep my, I don't want followers that are going to throw off my engagement because then I'm going to lose like who's engaging with my content. And if people don't engage with your content, what ends up happening is why would Instagram or YouTube push it to more people?
Right.
Your current audience isn't engaging with your content. Why would they push it to more people?
It's going to hurt it.
It's going to hurt it. So that's where I'm like, now I'm just about like, if I create a piece of content and I see a lot of engagement, I'll reach out in the DMs. What did you like about that? And get curious. You talked about it.
Of course.
I love getting curious.
I love it. I love it. So what's fascinating as this is playing out in the social media world, we said it earlier. I want to say it again. People are just not engaging anymore. Speaking of engagement, it's so hard for someone just to literally even to just muster up the like button is a problem. It's a major ordeal, but to get somebody to actually comment, it's so rare now. And I'll say the same thing because I'm so busy. I'll fly through real quick, but I don't even comment on the majority of stuff anymore, even though I want to, but I don't want to take that extra 4 seconds. So what do you do as a content creator? Do you just keep firing away and
that's it?
Not because you have no control over that.
You have no control over that. I mean, what you can do is once a month you could start asking, your audience, get curious with your audience. I don't see a lot of people doing that consistently. And what I mean by curious is what content am I not creating that you want to see? And then you just feed that into, I'm a huge fan of like the AI leverage to get to know your personality because I just tell all my clients, give me your bio, give me the story that you've always wanted to tell that you've never been able to tell. Then once you have that bio, you could create a profile for yourself in ChatGPT and it starts to really think and talk like you. And I think that's where you get the best content. And then ChatGPT can actually help you. Hey, my goal is to get an extra 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. What are the top 3 things that I need to do in the next 30 days? And then you experiment with those. I think people look for fast results with social media, and social media is not a fast results thing.
Not at all.
Social media is a long play. It's a long play, just like real estate.
Yeah.
So if you're committed, because most people won't last, how many podcast episodes make it? How many shows make it to 20 episodes? Not that many.
No, very, very few.
Very few. So you're in the top half percentile. If you've done 100 shows and that podcast app, by the way, is for audio podcasts too. So if you get into the actual show and production, it's even a smaller percentage that hit 20.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Incredible.
Well, JD, how much work is it to get guests?
For me, it's
how many people are you?
I'm an anomaly. It's very easy for me. But for the normal person, it's really hard.
To get good quality guests.
Really hard. For me, I'm blessed where I have I can pick one every minute of every day. And when I tell people they're coming on, they say yes. I don't ask them.
Oh,
hey, you want to come on?
Yeah.
Hey, you're coming on the podcast. Okay. Jeff Fenster, I texted him last week. He's coming on again. I'm like, we're going 2.0. Fine.
Definitely.
Yeah. I said, we're doing a 2.0. He goes, done.
He's he's definitely like a once a year.
Yeah.
Like you don't lose by having him on once a year.
And by the way, let's talk about that. I do have it like that because I'm pretty, persuasive. Like people just come on. Like I have an unlimited list of guests. Like my guest list is hundreds long. It's endless. But what for the person that's trying to do it and get guests? What do they do? Because you have to have
Um,
credibility. The person has to look at your platform and go, okay, I want to come on there.
right.
What if they don't have this big platform? They don't have this credibility. How do they get their guests?
I have you have to be bold. It took some of my I think I had one guy that took me 9 months to get. Every month I was DMing him because like you said, not everybody has JD's network. So what you're gonna have to do is one of the tricks I love, or tactics, it's not a trick.
Yeah.
Because I like really studying people before I bring them on. So I would go to Google, like I love coffee. I'm a little different on coffee now after I watched the Eric Lawrence
On my
episode.
podcast? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
on your podcast. So we're going to talk about that later. But I love coffee shops. So I went and looked up a 5-star coffee shop. They had 170 5-star reviews. I called the business owner and I said, "Hey, I would love to share your story." Now, JD, I don't do it for free.
Yeah.
Like I charge a lot of money because what we do is very different. How many times have you ever gone on someone's podcast and they spent 30 minutes prepping you well in advance so you were successful on the podcast? How many times have you experienced that?
I haven't.
Exactly. So what we do are very unique things and people are like, "That's really expensive." I'm like, "That's because we're going to help you tell your story for the first time like never before."
Yeah.
Because we take the time to get to know you. That's why our content is better. Now, there's also a reason why it's really expensive. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm a mortgage advisor. So if you want me to allocate my time to doing something, I'm passionate about my own branding. I'm not passionate about creating branding for other people. I'm glad to do it, but you have to I got to love you.
Yeah.
Like we got to have love between each other. If I'm investing in your personal brand, because now you're connecting. Now it's like, "Hey man, you're coming across like this." Cause I'm very transparent. When we're on a set, guess who's in charge?
You?
I am.
Yeah.
The person becomes talent, and that's not a bad thing because I think sometimes talent gets in its own way. They start overthinking. Okay, this is my favorite thing. Have you ever seen someone that's like, "Hey, I'm super happy," but they're not smiling?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
So I like that authenticity aspect of it. And people like yourselves is actually you're doing a disservice if you have your dynamic personality where your impact and cause are for great reasons, which is legacy. And I want to help my city get better. If you don't go on social media and tell your story, you're actually hurting your community.
Yeah.
Because more people are not going to get to know you. And that's the way I started looking at it.
And so the people that are starting with the content in the beginning, do they get their story out there? Is it important to get the story out pretty early, like who they are and where they came from and all that stuff? Number one.
Okay, JD, I have a question. Am I doing business with Real Deal Sleep Wellness, or am I doing business with JD? Whose brand is it?
Yeah, JD.
JD.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, Tesla. Like you can't connect with the inanimate object. It's the person that we connect with. Now, does it work for everybody? Now, if I was reserved and I didn't like being on camera, yeah, I have no choice but just to promote my business.
Right.
And then talk about maybe the team. So there's different ways of doing it. So maybe I'm not dynamic, but I have someone on my team that represents my brand really well that I trust, and they can be an actor and represent the brand. Because not every business owner needs to be you or me. They just need to figure out a strategy that works for them.
Love it. I love it. All right. So now give me a little bit of backstory here.
About me.
Yes.
Awesome.
We got where you were born. We know that you have kids, but you jumped ahead. Okay. So go back to childhood. How were your parents? How was upbringing? Give me some stories. Give me some events that happened.
I appreciate you taking me back to this because I don't think I've ever really talked about this. I did not have the best childhood, just coming over here culturally, it's very different.
Yeah.
Just the
what,
way.
What age did you come over here?
I think I came back around like 7.
Okay.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
So that was I didn't really speak English, so I had to go through, adapting to the new culture. Thank goodness we had like family. I had cousins in the Bay Area. So we went there first. Then eventually the road led to San Diego. But I think the most important thing about my childhood, and this is what I would share with young men, like whatever you don't address
early on as you get into your teen years and your 20s will stay with you forever. Like you can bury it.
Give me a for instance.
What I mean is like, okay, so I grew up and my dad was like, he was an alcoholic. It wasn't a fun childhood. Like I don't remember the best memories. And so the life lesson that I learned was I thought like it skipped me. Like alcohol wasn't a problem for me. I'm not my dad. Okay. Later on in life, what I realized was because I buried all that stuff thinking that it's not, I'm a man. There's no way. Like, and then being overweight, that really hurt my confidence because I grew up.
Was your dad overweight?
My dad was absolutely. Obesity is a generational curse.
Yeah.
And that's one of, when I grew up, that was one of the things where I'm like, this is not going to repeat itself. And it did because I hit 376 pounds.
Good Lord.
Yeah. That's
wow.
376. Like, that's scary.
What age was that?
Oh, in my 30s.
In your 30s?
It's terrible. Like, JD, I was miserable. I made everybody else miserable. You don't have the confidence. Like, how can you have confidence when you're carrying around almost 400 pounds?
Good Lord.
You just can't. You're irritable. I was drinking. It just wasn't, I wasn't happy.
Did you start drinking early? When did you start drinking?
I started, you know what's ironic? I was so scared of drinking. I didn't even drink when I was.
Because of your dad?
Yeah. Yeah. I just felt like alcohol was just
How did
poison.
you know he was an alcoholic? Just drinking all the time? Did he get abusive? Did he?
Yes. In every, like, I wanted to be the exact opposite of my dad. I wanted to grow up really understanding what it meant to be a man, what it meant to be a husband, a father, the things like you got to show up, you got to be present.
Yeah.
And if you're not present, then you're leaving, your kids to fend for themselves and raise themselves.
Was he not present also?
He wasn't present. Like you could be present without being present.
Correct, yeah.
To me, I think what's different about the Persian culture is a lot of your life is dictated by them. If you're not this and you're not that, and I'm not stereotyping, I'm just saying my experience with that. So every culture has its unique things. For me, it was like, hey, if you're not this and this and this, then you're a failure. And that was never my personality. Like I never wanted to go sit in a class for 12 hours. I've always been an entrepreneur. So I felt like a majority of my 20s and 30s, I was trapped by other people's visions for me. And then when I hit my 30s, it all caught up, because then you realize, holy smokes, you wake up one day, I'm not living my life. I'm living the life everybody's got planned for me.
Yeah.
That was a hard slap in the face. And I think what the culmination was, like, you commit 11 years to a company. I was in W-2. You get, hey, we're moving on. We're going to get less expensive talent. Awesome. That was 11 years of nothing. And I wasn't happy. I didn't want to be W-2. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. But I will share this. The one lesson I have learned about being an entrepreneur, don't.
Don't.
Because what I thought entrepreneurship and the reality of what entrepreneurship was two very different things.
Explain that.
What I mean by that is I thought there was all this glory and you do all this work and, this was my illusion in the W-2 world. And then you work really, really hard and then it becomes a machine and then you stop.
Yeah. Then we sit on top of a mountain of money and just count it.
Like Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah.
Do you remember that show? I love you swimming through the money.
I really thought that I'm super grateful for it, though.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful for all the lessons I've learned over the past 7 years, because the world is better for me learning those hard lessons, because I have no doubt I'm making an impact. Yeah. Every day I'm going to make an impact because I want people to win in life. That means a lot to me. And I think you have to go through really, really dark times to appreciate the light.
It's important. And would you say it? Did you go through how dark were your times?
I don't think I've ever said this, but it got pretty bad. Like not wanting to be on this planet.
That bad.
Yeah. And I never, JD,
At what
I've
point?
never
Where
said
where
this.
did you get to?
I was disappointed in who I was,
Mm.
and I was sad about who I was. And
Did you already have kids at this point?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
This
wow.
was this was probably in the last like 3 to 4 years because as
Really?
an entrepreneur, I didn't have, okay, we're gonna go there.
Yeah.
I didn't have God in my life at that point.
Mm.
I wasn't awakened. Um, it really it was JD. All my like values were all gobbled up and mixed up in not healthy ways, and I was disappointing everyone, including myself, and
Mm.
that. And I don't even know why I'm sharing it with you, but I hope that this brings some peace to someone that's conflicted inside and says, "Hey, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s. There's really no hope for me." And I completely disagree with that because I really didn't want to be on this planet because I didn't see the value that I was bringing. So it was really sad because I'm like,
And this
dude,
was recent.
recent because I didn't deal well with failure. Like I've always been results driven. Always. Like, hey, these are the results. You get a mission, you attack. You go all out. What I didn't realize is the damage that I was causing along the ways, the self-sabotaging behaviors, the vices that don't serve you. I haven't drank since June 9th, and I know you're passionate about, how alcohol is poison.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. Alcohol has actually, do you know, JD, I thought about this. I was talking to one of my buddies, and I said, nothing good has ever come from me drinking alcohol.
Yeah. It's pretty simple.
I can't remember one positive moment where I'm like, I drank alcohol and my life was better for it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there's a reason that it's pushed so hard in our country. Why alcohol is so easily accessible. Why the liquor stores didn't close down during COVID, but churches did. There's a reason.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I'm awake now. I'm very awake about agendas. I don't take anything personally because I think everybody has a right to their opinion, and don't judge anyone else. Like if you don't like someone's opinion,
Yeah,
don't engage with them.
And so the last 3 to 4 years, when you said it got to the point where you didn't want to be here,
yeah.
What was the thought process? Did you actually start to think about how am I going to do this? I'm going to take myself out. How bad did it get? And
okay, it didn't get that bad because the one thing I kept in mind was this: who would that damage if I did that?
Kids, your kids, yeah, of course.
I'm not. I've already done enough bad things. I'm not putting that on them too. That's what shut that door down. And I went to some people that I had a lot of trust, and I would say reach out to me if you're ever at a point like you're watching this and you want someone that will actually take 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and actually just talk to you about like how I work myself through it. I wasn't happy. I lost all hope, and it was like, dude, do you know what saved me though?
What?
Exercising.
First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for watching, for listening. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you, the feedback, the love. So if you want to support the show, we have a company, Real Deal Wellness. That's our wellness center. It's a membership base where you pay $99 a month, have unlimited access to red light therapy, cryotherapy, compression therapy, halotherapy, as well as massage chairs. Also, Real Deal Sleep's our mattress company. But again, we can't thank you enough for subscribing and for sharing the show. Continue to do so. We love you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
I had those thoughts pop up into my head. I just stopped, and I've gone to the gym every single day since September 27th.
Wow.
Every single day. And then people went, okay, so JD, I look different than maybe the last time you saw me. And people will be like, dude, what have you been doing? I'm like, it's so easy. I just make sure I watch what I eat. Okay. I got to do better on my sleeping. You would punch me. You would. You're a sleep fanatic. I love it.
Yes.
So I ate, and then I went and got really active. I don't sit. I actually
What a
think
concept,
couches, I think couches are the worst thing ever invented. They literally are. Like couches are the worst because what do they teach us?
Yeah. Yeah. Sedentary. Sit down.
Right.
Don't move.
It's not good.
Yeah.
So I apologize to people that if you have a like actual diagnosis, I totally get it. But as someone that was obese for a majority of their life, and you think you're going to get like sympathy from me, that you're not in shape, that's a choice.
Yeah,
And
it's a
I will
choice.
help anyone that wants to talk about what I worked on. I'm ketogenic. I believe in it. Coconut oil, by the way, is wild. I didn't know you could use it to clean your teeth.
Yes.
I'm doing that.
I'm going to start doing that, bro.
Totally. That was
Eric said, if you get your kids doing this, they'll never have a cavity. It'll never happen. They'll never have one.
I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole because I know you will, but isn't it wild with fluoride?
Yes.
I'm a little scared about like what.
And the people that I know in my life that are on this, they all say the exact same thing. It's basically the devil. Fluoride.
Sugar. I mean,
sugar's just the Antichrist. Yeah, forget it.
The funny
but
thing,
fluoride, it's in every single toothpaste.
I love the fact that he said shop outside the store because I've been teaching that to the boys. You asked me why I woke up with my health. JD,
what happened?
That generational curse was going to continue.
Yeah.
My parents were overweight. They did not. I love my mom. My dad, I forgive my dad, and I appreciate the fact that it's really hard to be a parent.
Yeah.
And I don't judge any parent because you can't.
Right.
Nobody knows how hard it is to be a parent, especially in this day and age with what they're exposed to, what we got to watch out for. It is wild.
Wild. Yeah, wild.
We didn't have that.
No.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
It's hard. So I personally think I'm like, dude, I am literally going all out for making an impact. So when we were talking offline and you said, this is all about impact, I'm like, yes, we need more.
You said,
of that.
why are you doing this? What are you doing the podcast for?
Yeah.
Simple. I just want to make an impact.
How pure is that? How do you, even if, it's all about relationships and connections. That's what I appreciate more than anything else. In my darkest times, because I had done right by certain people, when I needed someone else to support me, they were there. And at the end of the day, what I learned is this: you can wait for other people to come and try to save you. It's never going to happen.
No.
Because there's only one person that can save you.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because do you know what? That freed my mind. I'm like, dude, let's freaking go.
Yeah.
All my fears, if I ever have fear that comes up again, I just think about what my passion is. LCT, Luke, Connor, and Trevor. All I want to do is take these kids on incredible adventures to as many different places as possible before I leave this planet, and then do the same for other people. Like actually give back to my community in a great way and bring value. If we had that life mission, how much better would our communities be?
Oh, yeah. I mean, forget it. And your sons, 18, 16, 14.
Yes.
Are any of them overweight?
No.
No.
That wasn't gonna. That was AJD. That was done. My boys cook. They cook.
Yeah. Wow.
My youngest, like, he brags. Like, he sent me a picture. I got to show it to you. He made Wagyu steak. He made it. 14 years old. He's like, Dad, it was like perfect red. Do you know why I taught him how to cook? Because I don't eat out ever.
Yeah.
I don't go to fast food. I can't even remember the last time I had fast food. I haven't drank soda in forever. Because what I realized was I was obese for a reason. I was feeding the wrong things into my body. And I think if you fix your diet, you'll live a fairly healthy lifestyle. Like, you should do more, but I think if you just did those two fundamental things.
Very fundamental.
Yeah.
The problem is we're being programmed to be basically obese and sick, our society. We're being completely programmed 24/7.
How come?
Well, because they make a lot of money off of us being sick.
When
they want us in that cycle.
They do. Well, when you commoditize food, it's kind of silly to think about it. We took something pure like vegetables and those types of things, honey, and we processed it all, and then we're putting into our bodies, and then we're getting sick. And now we got to go back to eating more natural things. Why do we ever get away from it in the first place?
And the crazy thing is exactly. I mean, we can go again. This is a whole nother
rabbit hole.
Yeah. Tune into the Eric Lawrence podcast that I shot. And we went into a lot of this. We actually went into it for 2 hours.
I know.
But it's crazy. I don't remember. Did we get in the Ozempic thing on Eric Lawrence and I can't even remember.
I don't.
Somebody recently told me this with the Ozempic is the problem when you do. Everybody's hooked on this because it's the quick fix thing. It's getting people to lose fat,
To lose weight.
correct?
Yeah,
Because it was
yeah.
for diabetes, blah 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 blah.
Okay.
But what I found out recently, I think actually it was Jason that shared me this with me. The processed food with Ozempic makes people feel sick. So people right now are eating less processed food in the grocery stores. Walmart, all these places are struggling financially because everybody's on Ozempic, the quick fix. So they're eating less processed food right now. This is a thing.
Really?
I'm not going to go too far in this. I just heard this because that's what they thrive of, us eating all the center of the store,
Right.
the processed food. But the problem is because of this drug, it makes them feel sick. So people are actually avoiding that food now, which is mind-boggling. And this is a whole nother, like the Ozempic thing is not good. Where this is going to end up years down the line, stomachs are like being paralyzed. Like it's bad. It's really, really bad.
I'm so glad that you brought it up. So I've heard so many people around me say I had the surgery.
Yeah.
I take medication. I didn't cheat to lose a person.
Yeah.
I didn't cheat. There was no cheating. I was listening to David Goggins. I remember it right now like it's hitting me in the face. So I did lose 100 pounds in 10 months.
When did that start?
That was in 2020.
2020.
Yeah. So I decided, I'm like, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in 10 months and I'm going to use social media to do it. Actually, I take that back. That was actually in 2018. So 2018, I got divorced. And 2017, I got divorced. And then I was 376 pounds because I still have the picture of the scale.
That was 2018.
Yeah.
7 years ago.
7 years ago. And I gained like 75 pounds back because I didn't fix the problem.
Right. Yeah.
I just did the hard work, but I didn't fix the problem. So the funny thing was,
and what was the problem? What didn't you fix?
Food was my
Yeah.
was my coping mechanism.
Yep.
Now my coping mechanism is the gym
Yep.
and not drinking and not self-sabotaging every day. So I don't start from scratch all the time.
Yeah.
Funny how that works out.
Yeah. What do you know?
Like, what do you?
Actual exercise.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
I can't believe it.
Who would have thunk it?
So imagine running. Okay, this is wild. So I'm staring at the top of a palm tree and it's 4:20 in the morning because I watched Kobe Bryant and he's like, you got to get a jump start on everybody, by the time these guys wake up. So I'm listening to YouTube. I'm listening to Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, feeling like completely like you're like, dude, that's a savage man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's running, shitting himself. I'm like,
I haven't heard that.
okay. In his book, literally he finished a marathon after he had, I'm like, bro, I'm done. Like, no offense.
Like during the run, he just shit himself.
Yes.
I mean, this is probably happens more than.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it does.
yeah.
So I'm thinking, but that's what I'm like, so I'm running at 376 pounds, not running very well. And I'm like, you gotta, like, this is the pain. You gotta go through this. Cause
Were your sons excited about this when you flipped the switch?
they weren't even aware. That didn't happen until later on where I lost the weight. And then I said, hey guys, like this was to show you, like, we got to be healthy. Now we all work out together.
Yeah.
We all work out. Like it's a family thing. Like we work out with dad.
Yeah.
We work out. And then my oldest is because he's going to be a fireman.
Wow. Yeah. It's great.
So proud.
Yeah,
Like
amazing.
how do you not?
Yeah.
You just get a smile on your face. And JD, he is savage. He goes to like his Muay Thai gym. They have a 4 a.m. like workout session. He goes to that on his own. Like nobody's waking up this kid to go work out. Like it's embedded now.
Yeah.
Eating wise, they don't overeat. They don't eat sugar. They don't drink soda. I didn't let my kids, like when they never drank soda because I didn't think those were the things that were going to feed the best versions of themselves. Thank goodness, when I watched your episode on flame groins, it really did blow me away because I've read so much health and nutrition.
Yeah.
And he summed it up in 2 hours pretty like spot on.
Right. And by the way, I'm stopping you. We need to talk real quick. I need a public service announcement here about sodas.
Okay.
I've talked about it on other episodes, but we need to talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
Parents, stop letting your freaking kids drink sodas and stop letting them drink coffee and energy drinks. Parents are letting these kids drink energy drinks, soda, and coffee in freaking middle school, and even some of Johnny, my 9-year-old son's friends, are drinking actual sodas. And diet's bad too, but actual sodas that have 40, 50 grams of sugar in each thing, and they're drinking energy drinks.
Can I ask you a question?
It's horrible.
How come like soda is legal? Like, what is the nutritional value?
It's horrible.
I'm just saying, like, what is the nutritional value?
Zero.
There's no
zero. Not only zero nutritional benefit, but it's actual poison.
Right.
Because the whole thing is sugar, carbonated. We can go down the list here, man, on how bad actual real soda is. And frankly, I don't want to go too far here, but
No, go ahead.
Because I'm seeing it in places that are supposedly really healthy for you. They have sodas in the damn cooler, like for purchase.
The only reason
it's so bad.
It's commodity. Once you make food a commodity, then everything else I think goes out the window. And there are certain things like you could sell anything, but I think that's where personal decision comes into it. Like, what are my values for how I'm going to teach my kids about nutrition? Because the reason why I was obese is because my parents didn't teach me about nutrition.
Right.
I didn't know anything. There's no excuse anymore. Like, we're not back in the 90s.
Where there's no information.
Yeah, there's no excuse anymore. The way I look at it is I was broken with my eating habits and my wellness because I didn't address my mental issues. So that manifested in feeding the wrong things. Once I woke up and got the right things in my life, the right people in my life, I woke up and said, oh, okay, no problem. So this was broken. Of course, the rest of this was broken. So since October 1st, 68 pounds. 68 pounds.
Wow.
I'm not done. Like, this is going to be the best version. When you told me your age, by the way, I was shocked.
Yeah.
This is going to be like, people are going to see a version of me in 6 months, in 12 months, in 18 months, because I no longer need food to fix this. Like, I will fix this. So I think that's the power that I just want to share with people, because sometimes you get in your 40s and you're like,
how you're 40 what?
I'm 48.
48.
Yeah. So you get there and I'm like, dude, why did it take me longer? Now I don't ask why. I'm like, dude, it took.
Yeah. You're there.
Let's
because
go.
listen.
Let's go.
Listen, our society in America right now, 75% are either overweight or obese. 75% of the population. 20% of children are considered obese at this point. 20% of children. And again, parents, stop letting your freaking kids drink energy drinks and sodas at a young age. There's no reason for it, and it's killing them. No kid needs caffeine. Kids do not need caffeine. And if you're allowing it to happen now in their 9, 10, 13, 14 years old, because a lot of Jacqueline's friends that are in their teens, they're going to Starbucks all the time and getting these big Frappuccino things that have 100 grams of sugar, caffeine, and you are killing your child. Because then they're going to be, guess what they're going to do for the rest of their life? They're going to be hooked on caffeine. And listen, caffeine, I still have caffeine every day. Here's my First Form energy drink. This is a plug for them. This is one of the cleanest energy drinks I have found, First Form, Andy Frizella's company.
Oh, is it?
Yes, this is Andy Frizella's
Nice.
company. Yeah, so I do one a day. It's not phenomenal, but it's the cleanest one that I have found. That's it. Anyway, the point, kids should not be drinking these energy drinks or the sodas. All right, there's my rant once again. Go back to your, when you flip the switch, so you said since this past September, you're down another almost 70 pounds.
Yeah, because what ended up happening is I gained 75 pounds of it back. And it was like, I was drinking, and I wasn't getting drunk, but I was drinking every single day. My sleep was off.
Oh yeah.
Drinking is the worst thing for your sleep.
For sleep and your human body.
I didn't know, like, thank you for reinforcing it on your episode, but I didn't know that. I'm like, JD, I wasn't sleeping good. Like, I just wouldn't sleep. And now it's
not surprised.
So much. Like, I never have problems sleeping now.
Yeah. So what he's talking about, folks, is I talked about this on the Eric Lawrence, and I said in other podcasts. So People think that, oh, I just have a couple just to take the edge off at night and help me sleep. Alcohol is literally poison. When you put alcohol into your body, everything else in your body, every function, your immune system, your digestive system, everything takes a back seat to getting the toxin, the poison out of your body. So all your other normal functions of your body take a back seat. That's the best way I can explain that. That means all, again, metabolism, your immune system, your digestive system, everything takes a back seat to, oh, we got to get, hey, ring the alarm. We got to get poison out of this body, your liver, your kidneys. You then start taxing those organs while also everything else takes a back seat. Complete poison. I call it the anti-nutrition. Let me throw this stat out there.
Ooh.
When you drink alcohol, and listen, I love red wine. That's the only thing I drink. Like maybe once a week, I'll have a little red wine with dinner. That's it. Shouldn't even be doing that, but I do it because I love red wine. But anyway, as soon as you drink alcohol, and this is during the week, the guys that are drinking all the time, your metabolism is done for 3 days. I don't think I've ever said that stat before. 3 days, your metabolism doesn't ramp back up to where it's a normal metabolism again. Think about that, folks. That's where it's storing fat, using fat for energy, glucose transportation in your body. That leads to diabetes. This leads to health issues. This leads to organ failure. This leads to disease, to cancer. All of it leads to.
I'm gonna
3 days.
I'm gonna literally send you the picture that I took. Like I wore the same shirt. Like it was JD. I would be embarrassed to wear it in front of you. Like it was that bad. The drinking. Let's just talk about men and self-sabotage vices.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Do you know the conversations I'm having with my sons now? Real conversations. Yeah. Real. Hey, this is, and I know some people might not like this and some people might like it. I want to be a real parent. Like isn't it my responsibility to the world, to a higher power, that I put good men? Do you want to know one of the reasons why I love Awaken? I've gravitated towards it is because like we are literally investing in the youth.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
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 Yes. Just like Emerge, you just saw it, the rite of passage.
Wow.
Crazy.
Insane. And anyone, okay, this is where I'm not a huge fan of media, just in general. The news, my prior interaction with Awaken and my passion now are very, very different.
Yeah.
I no longer judge anyone whatsoever on social media until I get to experience it for myself. Because I'm the only person that knows what's right for me to be the best version of myself. And I think that's where my like peaceful thought process has come. You want to do whatever makes you happy, go for it. Don't hurt anybody else. Peace be on you. I'm good.
Right.
AJD, I got to take care of me and all the people that I love and care about. That's the goal. Like go all out, make sure that I'm putting good out into the world. So potentially good comes back at me. And if it doesn't, it's all good. I'm going to just keep doing good because it makes me happy to contribute.
And then what did you see? You said Awaken. You were changed. Did you see something on the media?
So I had a couple of interactions, and I think that's where, I matured, because what I realized is regardless of culture, race, there's good people and there's not so good people. It's all good. We just got to go out there and be open-minded and receptive to new ideas. And because I trusted, you asked me about Jason, how I met Jason and Kat. Funny story.
Yeah, tell me.
You ready?
Yes.
Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Okay. So I saw Catalyst Cat, Catalyst Wellness. I saw her on Dan Fulkerson's show. You've had Dan on.
Oh, yeah.
He was just on, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I had him on for 2.0.
That was 2.0?
That was his 2.0, yeah.
Okay. I thought I saw him previously. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Dan's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I saw him on, and I reached out to Kat, and I'm like, oh, hey, I saw you on there. I just really liked her energy and vibe. So they came on the show, and Jason had just gotten out. It was the first. I was so honored.
Yeah.
Man, I was so honored.
So
I
you
think
said that you met them because you saw Kat on
Yeah.
Fulkerson's thing?
And I reached out to her. I sent her a video, and this is a cool trick. If you want to, you were talking about how to interact with guests. What I like to do is personalize it. So I send Kat a message saying, "Hey, I saw you on Dan Fulkerson. That's so cool. Let's chat and see if it's a good fit." Because not everybody that you reach out to after you talk to them is a good fit.
Yeah.
Talk to Kat. Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Then I met Jason for the first time, and then you're like, okay, double whoa, and then Zeus, come on,
Yeah.
like I'm a dog fanatic, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. How long ago was this?
Summertime last year.
That's it?
That quick.
Okay, go.
That quick. So they came on the podcast, and then Kat was so sweet. She invited me to Pathfinders. I went. I wasn't. So I know a lot of people that go to Awaken.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really feeling the whole, like, I got to be upfront with you. I just, people that were fanatical about religion and God, regardless of religion, because like some of my family is Muslim.
Of course.
And they're fanatical.
Yeah.
Okay. But not in a negative way. They're just fanatical about their religion. And I just didn't connect with it. Because I didn't have belief and hope.
Was it a Pathfinder breakfast? What was it?
It was a Pathfinder breakfast. And it was like, when you go to Awaken, you're like, everyone's so passionate and I don't even know how to describe it. So I go to this event, and then Jason talks to me about his journey of, reconnecting with his faith and his belief in God. And Jason is I think what I like about him is he's so well thought out. Like, he took the time to invest in getting to know who he is, so he can articulate it and now make a bigger impact on everyone.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing. I mean, I've gone through dark times. It's not fun. It's
Yeah.
So just getting to know them. So he's like, I just showed up. I went 1 week, I went 2 weeks, I went 3 weeks, I went 4 weeks, and I didn't know what to expect. So I just was open-minded for the first time. I remember the first time I intentionally went to church was February 12th, 2023. That was the first time I intentionally went to church, not for Easter or a holiday, because I was skeptical.
Was that at Awaken?
No.
Okay.
No, it was at a church in Orange County. But when I went to Awaken, I just kept showing up, because what resonated with me, he said,
when did you officially start going to or going more
November
often of 24
last year? Yeah.
Because you came over to my house for an Emerge event.
Yeah.
When was that? I don't remember when that was.
That was
November?
that was, I think, January.
Oh, January of this year?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the first time you've been at my house?
That was the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. And now what's happened is this. Jason has been talking to me about Emerge, and he just said, man, it is literally, and there was a calling there for me. And I just felt like no matter what happened, I had to be there. I've really dug in, and I don't question it anymore. The reason why, like, God works for me, and I just appreciate, like, the openness, that I just felt like I was alone, for a very, very long time. And now I never have that. Like, I had my first conversation, and the old me would have never talked about this. The old me would have just like, oh, hey, what I do in my personal life. No, I'm actually, it's made me better. Like, Awaken has made me better as a person. It's made me better as a man. It's improved the people in my life, my knowledge. Like, I'm driven to do better for everybody around me. And anything that makes you better, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, that's where I'm at.
Yep.
If it works for you, great. Awesome. I like to feed the things that make me better. And I love it. I love my relationship with God right now, because I know I expect nothing, but I believe in hope, and I want him to, like, I get that power. Anytime I don't feel strong, I just, it sounds so silly. I literally just talk to him. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm having doubt. I'm gonna get emotional here. I'm having doubt. how do I show up as a person that I've always destined to be, and now I've gone through the journey that I can actually deliver and act upon this change? That is literally that simple. And so, JD, I no longer make my life complicated. I make it very simple, and I'll go all out with no resentment in my heart whatsoever. Because when you're a victim, you live in that victim mentality, that scarcity, and it's so self-destructive. And when you're in it and then you come out of it, you don't realize it. And so I felt like I had to go to certain people and just apologize for how I was showing up. Like I literally called some people and I said, I'm like, genuinely, from me to you, I'm going to show up better. You know,
Wow.
It means a lot. Like I showed up today intentionally. There was no, like, I honored you by saying, hey, like JD was kind enough to invite me. Studio, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. If you haven't been here, okay, just want to throw that out there. When you give everything you got to every interaction, how do you not connect? That's what I'm all about. Like I tell my boys, I'm like, I don't care if you spent 15 minutes with me. As long as that's the best 15 minutes of your day, I'm good.
Yeah.
Those moments, I will never sacrifice them again about what really matters more than anything else before: my relationship with my faith and my relationship with the people that I am absolutely here to make sure that I make their life better every single day, because I got the power to do it.
Right.
So I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at in life.
And so would you say that now getting in touch with God has been a big part of, you just said, I loved what you said, not feeling alone.
Yeah.
Like you feel like he's there with you all the time, no matter what.
Always. I went through 47 years of my life alone, and I thought nobody was watching. Big mistake. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I highly don't recommend it. And you know what, JD? Oh, I wish I was in my 30s and the boys were younger. I would 1000% take them.
Yes.
1000. Oh, what a big mistake. But I'm glad I get to teach them.
That's right.
I get to teach them because now I don't force it to them, but I know what I'm going to do. It's come and meet other young men that are leveling up in life. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to be surrounded by men. Yesterday, what's today? I'm losing track. Thursday. On Tuesday, 5:30 a.m.
Tell me.
300 men.
Where?
Awaken Church,
yes.
San Marcos.
Men's prayer.
5:30 in the morning.
300 men.
300.
What were they doing? Lay it out.
Oh, okay. So first time I went, weird. And I got hit hard because I got
What does that mean?
Okay. What I mean by I got hit hard, this is so funny. So someone came to me. I was still not there. I was new. Everything was new.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to participate. Then I got the whole, like, if your religion isn't defined by this, then you're not religious. I don't do well with that.
Yeah.
To me, that was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. And I'm just being real.
Yeah.
I didn't quit. That was the most important thing.
Yes.
I didn't quit.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to give up on it because, JD, I don't know if I would be here if I didn't have that. I really don't know. I don't know. I can't pinpoint it, but I do know nothing happens by coincidence. Like if you do good things and good people will show up. You just have to be aware of the opportunity. I think that's where, thank goodness I went. What if I didn't go to Awaken? What if I didn't take Jason and Kat up and go to that first Pathfinders, which opened up the door? Those what ifs. And so showing up changes everything. Because when you show up and you're comfortable, you're doing it with the right intentions, the craziest things are put in your path, and then you're like, oh, okay. I believer, non-believer, I will share with you, I'm a believer because I felt it. Like it was real, 1000%. It was real. And all I care about is what it meant to me. Because as long as I show up every day and I make impact and I treat people the right way and deliver what I say I'm going to do, how do you lose in life?
Yeah. If you could sum up the men's prayer, what is it all about? What's the main mission of men's prayer?
Leveling up in life.
Love that, dude.
Leveling up in life. I have to go. I will be there at 5:30 every single morning going forward without fail. I will be there because when you show up, I met 3 of the most amazing human beings that didn't need to pray for me. But literally, I don't even know. How do you meet strangers? Okay. Complete stranger. Okay. I've never met you in my life, but you have this and you have this and you have that. And you pray with another man. Talk about like something you would have never seen me. Never. Ever.
Never
like,
seen, never done, nothing. Never.
I would have laughed at you if you would have told me that 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm going to do what?
I'm going to pray for some stranger's going to pray for me and I'm going to pray for him. What? Yeah. What? No. It's absurd.
It's literally, I would, if I saw one of my friends do that, I would laugh. That's what I was thinking to myself. Oh, laugh at me all you want. Laugh at me all you want because I am showing up my best because I have faith and I genuinely mean it. I'm a better human being and a better person with God in my life. I'm a better person.
Yeah.
And everybody else is better for it too. So if people like it, great. If people don't like it, that's great too, because everybody's got a right to their opinion. And I think we lost that. Like, when did we become so brainwashed that like reality doesn't matter? Common sense doesn't matter. Hey, JD, whoever runs our government in California shouldn't have a job. If you don't like it, too bad. That's my opinion. I genuinely think we have a great state. And what in the world?
Yeah.
Like, I literally question this state. I want to move out of this state because of how it's run and how it's operated, because it's not for the people.
No.
It's not serving the people.
No.
So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But the whole thing is, I think that you get to a certain point in life where it's just easier to be real.
Authenticity. I think it vibrates in like a 3,000% more than love. Authenticity is number one. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's facts. And men's prayer, folks, if you're wondering and you're listening to this, and there's women's prayer too at the church, at Awaken Church. They're at all the campuses every Tuesday morning for the men's prayers, 5:30 a.m. There's one at Balboa, one up at San Marcos. So however many guys show up, they have a roundabout in the beginning, and then everybody breaks off into groups of 3 or 4 guys. And you talk about what you need prayer for. And then 3 or 4 guys pray for you. It's the most powerful thing that you could possibly ever imagine. So if you need it, you don't even need to go to the church. You don't need to believe in anything. But if you want to go and have somebody speak life into you and pray for you, I've never seen anything like it. How powerful.
It is the words. I actually feel insulted that I'm using words to describe it, because I thought it was silly. I'm like, dude, what am I doing?
Yeah, I was so uncomfortable my first one I went to. I was so uncomfortable.
I was uncomfortable on Tuesday. I'm like, you know what I did?
Yes.
Okay, I'm super excited about this. You know what I did? I manned up.
Did you share a God story?
Well, I absolutely did that, but I manned up in the sense that I told them all. The people in my group. Yeah. I'm like, hey guys, like, I didn't have a good, like, things didn't go well. I'm asking for your help. And do you know how come I'm more comfortable asking for help? Because of Awaken and the men that are in Awaken. Like, everyone's so vulnerable. Everyone's so open. Everyone's so generous. So, like, I know I got to level up. That's what it'll do for you.
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for watching, for listening. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you, the feedback, the love. So if you want to support the show, we have a company, Real Deal Wellness. That's our wellness center. It's a membership base where you pay $99 a month, have unlimited access to red light therapy, cryotherapy, compression therapy, halo therapy, as well as massage chairs. Also, Real Deal Sleep's our mattress company. But again, we can't thank you enough for subscribing and for sharing the show. Continue to do so. We love you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Yeah.
Like what it'll do is it'll energize your life to show up for the things that you love the most. The commitment to family, oh man, like I don't even know what to tell you. Like you just got to go experience it. Just go one time. Go one time open-minded, and if you go, you will be blown away at how your life will change if you dive in.
Yeah.
To yourself and to your relationship with God. It is wonderful. Like I wish I would have done this sooner.
And if you're listening to or watching this, guys, and you want to go for the first time and you're nervous and apprehensive, hit one of us up if you want to go with us.
Done.
Hit one of us up because you can't, as he said, you're almost doing a disservice by trying to put words to this. And you summed it up best. It's about leveling up your life, and it's about finding community, and it's about finding people that will believe in you, that you don't even know these people, and they're going to be speaking life into you, speaking into your life and praying over you.
Can I give you
unbelievable?
I want to give you a compliment. You know what surprised me at Emerge? I know you're competitive, like savagely competitive. One of the most competitive people I freaking have ever met. I love it. Like it just, okay. So I was blown away at how much you poured into the young men. That absolutely like blew my socks off. When I heard you talk from the heart to those young men, and you invested time, it wasn't about competition at that point. It was about like impact.
Yeah.
Blown away.
Yeah.
Because it was so, you know how people talk and they're not connected with what they say?
Yeah.
You were.
Oh, thanks, man. That's why I do what I do. And I am competitive, but the biggest thing of why I'm so competitive, because all I want to do is set the best example. That here's a guy in his mid-50s that is not only in pretty good shape, but is out there on a battlefield for his team, no matter what. And I want to show you I just want to represent. I want my kids to look at and be proud. Hey, that's my dad. Whereas most guys in their 50s are a mess. They're overweight. They're obese. They can barely walk, let alone tug of war with, freaking 250, 300-pound monsters on a field. So I appreciate that. And that's why I pour it out, because I just want to set the best example possible.
Well, and it also says, like, JD, your rise is just beginning.
Yeah. 20-year overnight success.
Yeah, you're 20, right, bro? Like that, was that the easiest 20 years you ever had?
Ladies and gentlemen, he said it earlier. For those that are thinking about entrepreneurship, don't. What was it? You said
just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Unless you love eating shit 95% of your day.
Yeah.
And Andy Frisella said it. It's one of the best quotes I've ever heard. I'm going to repeat it here. Entrepreneurship, 95% of the time you're getting your nuts kicked in. Yeah. 3% of the time you're confused. And the last 2% you're winning.
I think if you're in 2%, like,
you're winning. And then you start back up with the 95% immediately. I think that sums it up better than anything I personally ever heard about entrepreneurship and owning a business.
I was a terrible entrepreneur. Once I started, because what I didn't realize is this. I didn't realize that I had to love the pain in the process. Once I learned to love the pain in the process, that's really where I've elevated my mind. I've elevated my relationships. And here's what I will share with you. I like the fact that I can be very humble now with the right person.
I love that. Love it.
So,
and entrepreneurship will humble you. You have to be willing to take pain. You willing to have delayed gratification. There's times where I'll go months without taking a paycheck because you make sure your employees get paid first. You don't know if every morning when you wake up, you don't know if you have a guaranteed paycheck unless you're in a business that has a monthly subscription, which we now have. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. Because reoccurring revenue is a gift from God For 20 years, we've started fresh every morning. We hope we have someone comes in. I have faith. Faith is number one. When entrepreneur, your number one word as an entrepreneur, number one, I don't care who or what you believe in, it's faith. You have to have faith that it's going to work out. You have to have faith that the sales are going to come in. You have to have faith that people are going to come to your brand. You have to have faith, but you have to also put into that faith effort. Massive amounts of effort. People look at me in this branding machine. Do you know how long I've been branding at this level? 20 years. This brand has been firing on all cylinders for 20 years.
AJD, that doesn't surprise me because you're so dialed in. That's why I think I actually walked in and told Mia, that was your name. I'm like, Mia. Yeah. He said he was all about branding. Here's the thing though. It stands out. And I honored you by what am I wearing?
Yeah. He put on the colors. Look.
So from now on, like I would have all of your guests wear red and black. That's my like, because it's synergy and is you do unique twists that feed your soul. It's like, it's fun. Now that's right for you. But if it doesn't there is no excuse for not having a personal brand. I don't care what you do. There's no excuse. Yeah. It's free.
No matter what.
It's free.
No matter what.
Hey, JD, I have a question for you. Yeah. This is so awesome. Are you sitting down?
Okay.
Here's my question for you. Who can represent Real Deal better than you?
Who?
At
this point, probably nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See? Anybody that says they don't need to build a personal brand, there you go. There's your answer.
And personal brand.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
It doesn't have to be business. Personal brand, like my personal brand on social media for years and years and years is family, love, passion, perseverance, giving everything I've got, with a love for my wife, good relationships. That's a brand.
Yes.
Think about that.
It is.
That's a brand.
It's the best part of the brand.
Everybody thinks that a brand just has to be about business. Brand, my family and I, my wife and I, who've been together 24 years, we are really well known for being this beautiful, loving, harmonious couple who's always striving, always persevering, always doing our best, always going on date nights, always with the kids, doing everything with the family. That's our brand. Oh, and we just happen to own 3 companies. That's it. So you don't look at your brand as business. Look at your brand as what are you known for? You're known as the really incredibly nice guy. You're known as this person. What are you known for?
And the only way you get known for who you truly are is by being that person consistently.
Being your authentic self. Who are you? Yeah. Authenticity.
I get it. I understand it's so hard. At JD, it really is hard to get out of your own way. And that's the thing that prevents most people. So I do recommend, like, if you are genuine about growing a personal brand, make the investment of getting a branding coach to start.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what they'll do is, so I always, anybody that wants to work with Evolve Your Brand, so this is
that's
my production team.
Okay.
So the cool thing is, I actually would love to talk about this with your audience, which is, I want to talk about real estate and real estate market in San Diego, which is wild to me. So you said you live in Scripps Ranch.
Yeah.
When did you buy?
2000 and, 17.
Ooh, how happy were you because of what happened to your equity?
We actually didn't buy. We rented.
Okay. When did you buy?
We didn't buy. We bought something in 2000. And this is a good story too, because we bought something in 2005, right before 2008.
Okay.
And that was a disaster.
Right. So
we bought way back 20 years ago.
Would you ever buy again in San Diego?
For my personal residence? Probably not.
Okay. But you would buy in a different state?
Correct. Or something here that would be maybe, if it could be an investment property to have passive income on, and maybe. How personal? Because it's ridiculously expensive. It's overpriced.
Oh, I mean, how come you would actually invest in real estate?
Just for passive income, build equity.
And the wild thing is, what percentage of billionaires' portfolios do you think are invested in real estate?
It's a high percentage, isn't
It's
it?
a huge
Huge percentage.
percentage.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
40,
Yeah.
50%. So I agree with you as far as home prices here. And when
Absurd.
they're absurd,
Ridiculous.
and it's still a good decision. That's what
Yeah.
the
So let's
scary part
go into
is.
that then.
So I want to go into this because I know what people see on the media, but the reality of what's happening in San Diego is very different than what they report on the media. People go into this market thinking like, hey, I've had home buyers that will want to lowball an offer by $50,000.
Yeah.
And the easiest way I can explain real estate in San Diego is very simple. It's a supply demand issue. Okay. So San Diego, I would say, is the best city in the country. Beautiful, great people, everything you would want. Biotech is coming. There's plenty of jobs. There just isn't enough houses. And because we have such an incredible city, the influx of people that want to move here is pretty high. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they cash out in other places and they come here and they buy, they continue, especially with the migration we had from LA and San Francisco, the home prices continue to increase, but San Diego is still a better value than some parts of San Francisco and LA. So I think when people say, hey, home prices in San Diego can't get any higher, they are so wrong. Because what's going to happen is when interest rates fall by 1%, you have 5 million more people that are able to buy. And in a market like San Diego, when rates go down, all that means for someone that legitimately wants to buy and own a home here is they will just have to start doing overbidding. I like doing real estate
What do
this
you mean?
way.
Where'd you come up with 5 million? 5 million more people.
Oh, it's just a stat. One of the Barry Habib, who's like the god in lending.
Yeah.
For every 1% that rates go down, you get 5 million more people that are eligible to buy.
Got it. Okay.
Not all 5 million are going to buy.
Okay.
But it does help you understand the competition. That's wild to me. When I started in real estate, I always started like relationship based, and I figured it's a big moment because your home is like where all the memories are. You're raising your family. It's a personal, emotional decision. It's actually a very transactional industry. So I just do it differently in the sense that for me, it's all about like, hey, my number one job is to get them the results. If you want to buy in San Diego, then you have to know this market. And I think a lot of times we get in the sales mode in real estate instead of the people mode. Because if you said to me like, hey, I'm not going to live in San Diego forever, I personally, maybe you shouldn't buy. You know, like if you're not going to be here forever, maybe it's a good idea for you to take the money that you have for down payment and go buy a multi-unit, like buy a 10 apartment complex in a different state. With the same money, you could get one primary residence here.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you said be an investor, because I think a lot of people in San Diego get scared about how expensive home prices are, and they don't explore options of leveraging their down payment in other states to make more income so they have more affordability here. So those are like creative things that you can strategize with. But that's like my passion for real estate is this one simple thing. I want to help people create money with money. That's what I'm teaching.
Yep.
So for me, it's being a mortgage advisor, not someone that does your loan. So there's a lot of lenders out there that will process your loan. I want to build a relationship with my clients where they know anything finance, hard money, residential, commercial, everything. I go to Ollie because he's so well connected. He vets everyone in his network. They're all relationship based. So I know I'm going to get a great experience. And then my other thing is this. You're not going to come out to advertise me. I'm not just doing your loan. I'm giving you strategy.
Yeah.
Strategy is different. Like you're doing a holistic approach to health, right?
Yeah.
You're not just attacking one aspect that you're saying, hey, it's an environment. We got to take care of the whole thing for you to show up your very best. I think people get into the finance world, and we've taught them this. They rate shop. What's your interest rate?
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, awesome. Here's my interest rate. What does that matter if I can help you save thousands of dollars because I add strategy? So my recommendation for people that want to buy in San Diego, get started with the financial numbers first. And I'm not saying apply for a loan. What I'm saying is take a look at your monthly income and your monthly expenses, and then what are the expenses that are preventing you from homeownership. That $1,000 car payment, probably not a good idea if you want to buy a house within the next 2 years.
Right.
So it really, I think it's never my job to convince someone to buy a house. What I look at it as is my obligation to guide them to the right decision for themselves. So if you want home ownership and you're doing counterproductive things to prevent you from home ownership, isn't it my responsibility to tell you that?
Oh yeah.
So I think that for me, real estate passion comes from, I just love explaining the cost of money to people, because when you understand the cost of money, you are empowered to make a decision that's right for you.
Love it.
Do you like real estate better that way? Like if real
Yes.
estate professionals were like that, would you have a different opinion of real estate professionals?
For sure. Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And
Thank
so,
you.
And so then you advise them, but then you have a network of people that actually do the loans. Is that how that
No,
works?
I do the loans.
You do
So
loans
I
as
do
well.
all
Okay.
residential. So for me, you have a passion for the military. Did you serve?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
Navy,
you were Navy for how many years?
4 years.
Okay.
Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
Thank you.
Yeah,
oh,
better.
you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
better.
you
Yeah.
saw. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a huge passion for the military community. I wish I would have gone, like, after high school, I wish I would have gone into the Marines.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
When I went into boot camp, I said it should be mandatory in our country that every kid, not even just guys, but should go into at the very least boot camp. Go do boot camp for however, I don't remember how many weeks it was. At the very least, do boot camp. Boot camp alone taught me discipline, honor, being able to take direction, attention to detail. It was unbelievable.
I wish I was implemented. I actually think it's absolutely needed. It just makes you harder in life.
It's phenomenal. I said everybody should be mandatory right out of high school.
I agree with you 100%. Obviously it wasn't mandatory, so I went to college, which college wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
Like college, so when my oldest son came and said, "Hey Dad, like I'm gonna go become a fireman," I'm gonna like get it. I don't. To me, anybody that's forcing their kids to go to college, like you're doing a disservice to them and you're putting them in massive
100%.
debt for no reason.
100%.
It's like that's ego. That's like parents' ego. Like it has nothing to do with the kids.
It's not some ego, but a lot of it's just they're buying into the old ways.
Right.
It's not working anymore, guys.
Well,
that's not the way to go.
Here's the funny thing, though. A lot of us talk about our parents making us do things. Why are we doing that? Yeah. Why are we continuing that?
Well, that's what it is they're just continuing the thing when guess what, guys? College, it does not work. College is almost useless now. Number one, it puts you in massive debt right away. You're not guaranteed to get a job. It's like, it's almost useless at this point. Not almost, it is.
It is.
And if you want to be wealthy, here, let me rephrase this.
Yeah.
Do you want to be rich? I've asked crowds this. Who wants to be rich? Everybody raise your hand. Okay, well, and this is teenagers. Okay, who's going to college? And I said, okay, those two don't mix. If you want to be rich, don't go to college. I said it on the air. If you want to be rich, don't go to, unless you're becoming doctor, lawyer. But even then, bro, when you're a doctor, lawyer, all the big ones, you know how much hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt that you were in before you even get started? You know how long it takes you to get out of that debt?
It's
forever.
$50,000.
Yeah.
It's obscene.
Well, it's in the hundreds of thousands when you go 10, 12 years, become a doctor. Oh, it's absurd.
It's absurd. And so what's the value? Like if you're going to be a doctor and, eventually you're going to own your own practice, great. Like there got to be more to it than that. So we do not do a great job of teaching financial education in this country.
Correct.
And it's intentional.
Yeah.
Because if you teach people, like we wouldn't be handing out credit cards at college campuses to young people that don't know how to manage finances. Like why don't credit card companies make it mandatory to go through a financial education on the cost of money because there's no money in it.
Right.
Why would they teach you? Like it's better to put people in debt, get them into the system as quickly as possible. And what I don't play, JD, what I don't do is this. I'm not the real estate professional that's going to tell you what you want to hear. My job is to do a fiduciary responsibility of serving your best interest. I think the real estate industry really needs to step it up, and look, our reputation gets pounded all the time because we earn it.
Yeah. Right. 100%. Oh, yeah. And pretty much anybody can go into quote unquote real estate. That's the problem.
The barrier is not very high.
No.
Thank goodness the barrier for being a lender is a little
That's
bit
a lot,
higher.
Yeah, higher for sure.
You know, thank goodness for that. And there are, I want to share, like, there are phenomenal real estate agents that I work with that, JD, you would invite them to dinner because they're incredible human beings that bring a differentiated value and they serve. They're not hypothetically serving, they're literally serving.
Yeah.
They're like all out. So what I was talking about with the military community, we were just going back to that. Like, I have such respect, like, for the sacrifices that our military. I've had service members that missed their birth of their kid.
Oh yeah.
They missed the birth of their kid.
Happens all the time because they're at sea. Yeah.
They missed. Where do you go to work where you have to miss the birth of your kid? Not too many jobs.
Yeah. No.
So they just live differently. So for me, they have a different career. I have such a passion of serving them and honoring them and going all out for them to make sure that if they do want to get into home ownership, instead of saying no, we figure out ways to say yes. So I personally think if you're a homeowner in San Diego and you're selling your house, please give our military community an opportunity to work with their real estate agent, work with their mortgage advisor, because you would be blown away. The VA loan is the absolute very, very best loan.
It's the best one, yeah.
It is the best one. So anyone that has served, the VA loan will lead you to wealth in about 10 to 15 years if you have a strategy. And that's the thing that just blows my mind, because so many guys have rinse and repeat. And I'm not doing the real estate talk. I'm doing the financial freedom talk.
Right.
If you want to achieve financial freedom, when you buy a home in San Diego, it's like buying a lotto ticket. It's not going to go up as high as it did in COVID time. It'll never do that because that was an anomaly. Our market was underpriced because if you looked at LA and San Francisco, their home prices have been obscene for a long time.
Yeah.
So ours just caught up. Now I'm like, dude, if you can buy in San Diego, this is probably like our kids won't be able to buy in San Diego. Like the math doesn't make sense. So I'm hoping that they do something, but where are we going to build? We're not going to build into the ocean.
And are you saying because of how the price is going to go higher and higher and higher?
Yeah. A lot of parents I talk to is they're worried
they're
about.
They're not going to buy one if they get a job and go to college.
Oh, wow. They're definitely, you're telling them to go 95% pain.
Yes.
with no guaranteed results.
Yes. I need you to go 95% of getting your nuts kicked in every day.
Yes. Okay. Do you smile when, like, I just wake up sometimes after having the toughest day and I just smile. I'm like, yeah, bring me more.
I thank God every morning. Like, I do my cryotherapy session every single morning, 5 minutes at 120 below zero. And for 5 minutes, I listen to worship music, Lion of Judah. And I thank God for everything. I thank him for the pain. I thank him for the suffering. I thank him for making me, because God's always making us. And if you're going, the harder the fight that you're going through, the bigger the obstacle, the more the pain that you're going through, it's actually a really good sign. That means you got a lot going on. If you've got nothing going wrong, you've got nothing going on. Remember that quote, folks. If you've got nothing going wrong, you've got nothing going on. So the more shit you're going through, it's actually a really good sign, because that means he's making you, because he's got something on the other side of the pain for you. And he needs to become the person that he designed you to be able to handle what's on the other side, which is massive prosperity, massive responsibility, massive influence. Leadership is influence. Yes. How are we going to influence the world, bro? How do we influence? How are you influencing? How am I influencing? If you're listening to this right now and you're a slob, and you're not doing anything, you're a bad influence, period. But if you're taking care of business, striving every day, going through the pain as an entrepreneur, you're setting an incredible, at the end of the day, you're not going to, the only way that you help people is by setting the best example. Yes. And that's influence.
Took a long time to learn that.
Yes.
And
think about it.
That was all weekend, by the way. That was him all weekend at Emerge. That was right there. That's what these young men got.
Yep.
And I want to talk about the youth, by the way.
Yeah.
Just transitioning. So from a real estate perspective, I just final thoughts.
Go with that.
Yeah. Final thoughts with real estate. Here's my thing. Do I think it's always a good time to buy? One of the worst comments. I can't stand it in real estate. No, it is not always a good time to buy.
Please go there,
because
because everybody's like, it's
okay,
always a good time to buy.
it is okay. And did you see the
It
facial
annoys
expression
me.
you make?
Yes, it annoys me.
Okay, can you talk to me now? You're not a real estate professional.
Correct.
You talk to me about why is that tacky?
It's like, really, like, are you serious about? I don't know. It's just annoying because I know that's their profession,
Right.
and they're trying to convince us that no matter when, it's a great time to buy real estate.
Right.
It actually may be true, but it rubs me the wrong way when I hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some examples when it's not a good time to
Yeah.
buy. I just lost my job. Good time to buy?
No,
Okay. I just declared bankruptcy. Good time to buy.
probably not.
Okay. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you make blanket statements on a very, very complicated industry, I think I look at that as a little bit irresponsible because you're giving out false hope. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. All the haters go off. It's just my opinion. I expect to step up for my industry and make it better. So by making it better, I believe in transparency. No, you cannot put an offer 100,000 below asking on a turnkey property because the seller's going to laugh at you. They're not going to sell. If it was your house, would you sell it for 100,000 below? No, exactly. So I believe that as real estate professionals, our number one responsibility is to get to know the families and people that we serve, be transparent and honest. And if the home doesn't make sense for them, move on to the next home. I don't think it's our responsibility to ever force someone to buy something or encourage them to make an offer because we're tired of this. I think you have a fiduciary responsibility to take the time to make sure that you serve this family. It's going to take a little bit longer, but that's how you improve our reputation. No, it's not always a good time to buy because some people should not buy in this market because if you have a $2,000 car payment between you and your wife, I'd probably say sell one of the cars first, then go buy. See, that's the difference between like being empowered. So a lot of people don't become homeowners because they're not empowered.
Right.
They don't know the best strategies. They don't know these things. But still, after all of that, buying a home in San Diego is a winning lotto ticket because how you win is equity.
Yeah.
That's it.
Totally.
Equity, and because rates will go down, but here's my thing on rates. Okay, this whole
tell me about the rates.
Let me talk about rates. Don't ever listen to a real estate professional that says buy now and refinance later. That's not true. Do you know what I tell people? Look, the rates are what they are. If you could commit to this rate for the next 3 to 4 years, then it might make sense for you to buy. Here's the strategy that we can do to address affordability. Then I'll walk them through strategy. But to me, I'm not Nostradamus. I have no idea if it's going to take 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years for the rates to drop. The rates will drop. It just might take some time.
Yeah.
That to me is a responsible real estate professional that says, hey, I'm not pretending to you that we're going to refinance within the next 12 months. So is it going to make the transaction more difficult? Is it going to take the buyer a little bit longer? Sure, it is.
Yeah.
But it's their money and it's their house. And I think real estate should be done that way. That's the way I do real estate, which is
I love it.
If it doesn't make sense for you to buy now, but it makes sense in 9 months, let's strategize and then we'll get there. If it doesn't make sense in 9 months, that's fine. I'm not paying your mortgage.
Right. Oh yeah. And talk about right now, real estate in San Diego.
Yeah.
Where's it going? What's happening? Are prices going up? How's the inventory? Give me a recap right now of San Diego real estate and where you predict it's going to go. When are the rates going to come down? Are they going to come down?
Right.
Are prices going to keep going up? Availability right now. Give me a summary.
Inventory is short. There's a lot of investor developers.
And by the way, let me preface by saying to everybody right now listening to this is 2025 because somebody could be listening to this years from now.
Good point.
2025, April 3rd, 2025. Current status, market status. Go.
Inventory has picked up, but homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer because
what's a little longer? Give me from
let's
where to
say-
where.
So depending on areas, you might be sitting on market. Like I have a listing that one of my agents has. It's going to take about 35 to 45 days to sell. there's another property that the community is 50 to 60 days. So every part of town is going to be a little different. The good news is this is the first time since I started in real estate that buyers actually have leverage. What I mean by that is this. Because homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, you have a little more room to negotiate. And I'm not saying you're going to get a lower price, but sellers aren't offended anymore. Rates, they've been the highest in 40 years. I think everybody's gotten used to this is where rates are at. And if it goes down lower over the next like year and 2 years, I'll just refinance out of it. I will share that I watched some of the smartest people, and the forecasts are that we're going to see some good signs. But I've heard that over the last 2.5 years. So until I see it, my response is I will quote you what the rates are today. If you want a prediction, even the best people in my industry have been wrong about their predictions. So I think we got to let this tariff thing play out. But the good thing is that the signs are heading in the right direction, that we could see interest rates coming down a little bit. But when the Fed and our president are butting heads, who knows? That part of it you can't control. The other thing with the San Diego housing market, do I think home prices are going to continue to go up? We've only had one time in history where home prices haven't gone up in San Diego. That happened in 2009. Ever since then, home prices have gone up. We had 40 years high with interest rates last year, and home values went up by like 5 to 6%, depending on
still went up.
Yeah, still went up. And JD, that doesn't make sense. That's like eating hamburgers and sugar all day and being in your shape.
It doesn't make sense.
That was good, right?
Yes.
That was good. Okay.
Good analogy.
So it just doesn't make any sense. That's how great the San Diego market is. It is an anomaly.
Because I'm like, it's got to stop.
No.
I'm like, there's got to be a bust. Like at some point, is it going to just burst like 2000?
No, there's not enough inventory. This is never going to happen. If we had foreclosures, who cares? There's like 5 people that want to buy your foreclosure. Like,
do you know anything about commercial real estate?
Sure.
I'm hearing, like, I heard coming into this year, there's going to be a ton of foreclosures on commercial real estate.
It's because their notes are coming due, and with the rates being so high, I mean, commercial space that's not my area of expertise. I have great partners that do that, but I'm familiar with the sense that the reason is because the rates that they locked happened during COVID. So those notes are going to be coming due 4 or 5 years. They're going to refinance them into other loans, but the rates are completely different today. That's where there was so much opportunity. In San Diego, though, I've seen more buildings. Aren't you seeing more like entrepreneurs opening up things right now in the commercial space?
I'm not seeing it, but I'm in touch with my commercial broker a lot because we're going to expand Real Deal Wellness. We're looking for new spaces right now throughout San Diego. So I'm in communication with him a lot right now.
Right.
So he always gives me the current economic climate, not the current climate when it comes to commercial real estate.
What did he tell you?
And he's saying right now that anything 3,000 square feet or under is hot. Like people are opening, people are expanding, like that size business. Because that's what we're looking for is 1,500 to 2,000 square. So anything under 3,000 square feet, is like hot right now.
Okay,
which I was shocked because I actually was thinking because I know how bad my mattress company's been. It's been a rough go for like the last 18 months because people, when inflation hit, it's been rough. They're not spending as much. So I was surprised to hear that lately, that things are hopping like big time.
That's why I was bringing it up to you.
Yeah,
like it is shocking.
Doesn't make sense.
Where were they getting? I'm just curious. Like, where are they getting the capital?
Like, I know Real Deal Wellness because we designed a concept that's never been done before. The $99 price point. It's hot. Like, it is on fire. But what else is going on right now that's on fire? I was shocked
at your price point.
Yeah, everybody shocked.
I was shocked.
Yeah, everybody can't believe it. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, and the cool thing is, one thing I appreciate about California is our focus on health and wellness.
Yeah.
You know, that is pretty powerful that we have that. And then you championing that, like you're at all my events. Like the way I look at entrepreneurship is, I feel weak when I'm not working out and working hard as an entrepreneur. And I can't ever be weak. Like I gotta be on all the time. So you talked about like 95% of it is us getting punched in the face every day.
Right.
Like if you're not in good health, you're going to get knocked out.
Yeah, you're done. You won't make it. You got to be physically. You're the vessel that's carrying your spirit and your soul. It better be strong. Otherwise, and think about it like this. You've said it before earlier in this conversation, but folks, the most selfless thing you can do is be selfish. And what I mean by that is selfishly be obsessed with working on yourself. You can work as hard as you possibly want at a job. Like work your freaking ass off at a job and you'll make a living. But if you work that hard and you're obsessed with working that hard on yourself, you can become wealthy. And you will become wealthy if, most importantly, the caveat, you never quit. Keep moving forward no matter what.
How many times do you get that urge? Because it's shocking how much it comes up. It's like you ask yourself, is this worth it?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
Should I keep going? This is nuts.
Like, what am I doing?
I'm getting my ass kicked.
Just repeat. And you're getting your ass kicked and you're like, does this ass kicking ever stop?
My
Like,
wife, she's at home. She runs the whole house. Rachel's the chief estate officer. She runs the entire house. I don't worry about it. House, the kids, the food, the shop, everything she runs. I run the business. So I'll come home. What's that?
Teamwork.
That's it. You got to focus on roles, folks. If you're a relationship, marriage, the key to success is don't overlap roles. Like you'll never see me in a supermarket looking for the pickles or the mayo.
Really?
It's never going to happen.
Nice.
Never. Because our team and our family's losing if JD's spending 30 minutes trying to find a damn, the cracker or whatever it is in the freaking grocery store. I've walked out of grocery stores because I couldn't find it within 30 seconds. I'm out. I can't deal with this. Or if I see a line in the checkout aisle. Like if there's a line, I'm out. I won't even. So she doesn't even bother. I will never. I don't go to Costco. Most guys love Costco. I haven't been in Costco in years. I won't. I can't handle it because if I'm wasting time, my biggest pet peeve or my thing that makes my skin crawl is wasting time. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent.
No, you're not.
The point is this. The point is this.
Great.
The point is this. The best chance you have becoming successful, and success is not money. Success is the impact that you're having on the world. Success is measured by how much impact you're making, how much influence you have. That's success. And the best success you're going to have is if you and your significant other clearly define your roles in the beginning of your relationship. Clearly define. This is my thing. This is your thing. This is my thing. This is your thing. Don't overlap. Like I'll never be picking up groceries on the way home. I use that analogy a lot. I just won't because I'm running the company. I run the company from 6 a.m. I get home at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m.
No doubt.
My wife knows exactly what I'm doing all day. I'm doing everything for the family, and I know what Rachel, my wife, is. She's getting the kids to practice, getting our daughter to dance, getting Johnny to taekwondo, getting Johnny to football. Then I come home to coach football. Then she's getting the kids here to school, from school, the house, the shopping. It's dialed in. A finely tuned machine. Finely tuned machine. Why did I get on this tangent? What were we talking about?
I don't know, but it is the real deal of healthy relationship.
That's what it was. Is being. I think it was being healthy and setting the best example possible.
Yeah.
And that's right, because unless you're healthy, like to be an entrepreneur, the 95% getting your face punched in all day, you're not. And again, I'll go back to this word. I'll go back to it again. You have got to have faith.
Yes.
And faith isn't just in God. For us, it's God. But for an entrepreneur like, I don't believe in God. Fine. You have to have faith that it's always going to work out. I have faith that this is going to work out. I have faith that the sales are going to come in.
It is literally blind
faith.
It's blind faith.
100%.
Like there is JD, that was why I was losing as an entrepreneur, because I was too attached to the results. Yeah. And the results will never come on the timeline you expect.
Correct. And the lack of control we have, right? You have no control when you're an entrepreneur. Other than you have control over the actions and the effort that you put forth every day. You have control over that. We cannot control the outcome. It's impossible.
It is so cool that you bring that up. So one of the first questions I ask newer real estate agents, I'm like, okay, so tell me all about your lead gen. What's your number one lead gen?
Crickets.
Okay,
So we're going to spend the whole entire time talking about lead gen because
Nothing.
like everything is lead gen. Like,
Everything.
And what I mean by lead gen, let me clarify for your audience. That's not a bad thing. The reason why JD is recording the podcast, doing the wellness is it's all about impact. And then he's sharing that impact, how it's changing lives. I talked to one of your clients. He said that ever since you opened it, he came over here. Like, are you happy? He's like, man, I'm so happy. Like he was smiling, and you know how people will tell you, I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy.
Do you remember who this was?
It was the as soon as we walked in at 7 a.m. I didn't
Oh
get
yeah,
his
yeah,
name.
Cranston.
Okay. And that to me says all I need to know about your business.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yep. Yeah.
Bam.
Listen,
it's working.
The $99 price point's attracting people. A
Right.
lot of people. They're losing their mind. $99, unlimited access, folks. And so you keep wondering and keep talking about this. Cryotherapy, red light therapy, compression therapy, halo therapy, infrared sauna, and massage therapy. $99 a month, unlimited. That attracts a lot of people. But here's the thing, man. It wouldn't be growing as fast as it is if it wasn't working.
Yes.
Because 99 is still a big chunk on a monthly basis every month. That's $100 is still, that's a good amount of cheddar if something's not working.
Right.
But it's working, bro. Miracle healing stories every day. People walk into my office every single day emotional. Tell them, I just wanted to thank you for doing this. And they're thanking me for making it affordable and accessible. Not just because wellness is everywhere now. They're popping up everywhere. So they're not thanking me, oh yeah, another wellness.
Right.
They're thanking me for actually making it affordable.
How
the average place is $250, $300 a month for one thing.
No way.
The average cryo place, sauna, whatever, for one modality, one service, they're charging $250 to $300. And the caveat, the kicker is they won't even let you go every day. They'll cap you. Our center, 99, you can come in every freaking day and you can do all of our services. If you can work it out in their schedule, you can do multiple services every day. Never been done. So people come in thanking me, crying. This thing's going away. I have anxiety. My anxiety's going away. I don't have clinical depression anymore. This isn't just physical. This is mental, bro. Because when you feel good, when you look good, when you feel good, guess what? When you look good, you feel good. Mentally, what happens? There's a switch. There's a flip.
There is a huge
Think about what
switch.
you just went through. How much more confident are you now as a human being?
Okay.
As a man.
If I hadn't done that work, like anybody that tells me, like I look at my old pictures and I'm embarrassed at how I was showing up. JD, I was sitting in the podcast chair thinking to myself, dude, you're okay. The running joke, my boys would laugh at this. Holy shit, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Okay. The running joke when Dad got overweight was Tubby does lending instead of Ollie does lending.
Oh, man.
Bro, they loved it. Trevor, that was for you, bro. Tubby does.
Geez.
Oh, they laughed their asses off. I was like, okay.
And think about it. Yeah, it's funny and quirk, but think about it.
Oh, I wasn't doing
the
it to be
confidence
funny.
is under the just.
Oh, I wasn't being funny. I was like,
terrible.
dude, Tubby's doing like that's not allowed. Tubby doesn't do lending anymore.
Yeah.
Not allowed. So if you ever see Tubby, you'd be like, Tubby's never allowed to come back. He won't be coming back. What you're doing with Real Deal Wellness is you're taking your industry status quo and saying, nah, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Let's do it better. Let's give you so much value. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually a part of the community. I love my wife. I love my family. I love God. I love my church. Let's go. That's why you're going to win. That's why you're going to explode. And it's not a no-brainer. It doesn't happen by coincidence, but it took you 20 plus years to figure out what worked.
Correct.
One vehicle got you into
years.
Bro.
And it took one drying out to make me divert and pivot, which Pastor Jurgen said, JD, God will purposely dry an area of your life out, a business or whatever, to purposely make you focus elsewhere. He goes, that's what's happened because you and Rachel are wellness. And that's what's forced you to do this. This is why that happened. I'm like, oh. So I feel good about, tanking and coming into a hole and fighting my way out with Real Deal Sleep, the mattress store.
It's funny that you bring that up. Don't you find it that when you try to force something that, it closes you off to recognizing opportunities?
Correct.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Opportunity. You just said it. It's being able to hop on an opportunity or being able to be pivot ready at any given moment. Jeff Fenster talks about that a lot. Be pivot ready.
Yes.
Be change ready.
Have you,
this 20 years, boom, change done.
I know
Pivot.
that's insane.
Branding. We changed the branding. Like our branding has changed 5 times over 20 years. We're always the same red and black,
Right.
same look, but you don't never be scared to change things up just a little bit and pivot.
So here's my question for you: what day what day was it where you're like, dude, I am literally gonna do this cryotherapy?
So
Like,
I did cryotherapy for the first time 9 years ago. Cryotherapy, freezing cold chamber. You stand in like a refrigerator. It's the same benefits as like a cold plunge. I think it's easier, frankly, than a cold. It's the opposite. Cold plunge is psychotic in the beginning. You're hyperventilating.
right.
The cryo chamber, you hop in and it's easy the first 30 to 60 seconds, but it gets worse.
Okay.
I started 9 years ago. I knew 9 years ago that eventually I'd want to be in the cryotherapy business.
Really?
I almost went in it back then because I freaking loved it. I'm like, this is going to become hot. No pun intended. And at the time, there was no other cryo business. There was like one cryo business in San Diego at the time. It was Chilling Out Cryo with Brian Dyer, my guy. And I knew, and we almost went into business like 8 years ago, and then we got off it. But then with we transferred to Real Deal Sleep we had furniture as well. The point is, where it became an actual like, okay, we're doing this was late 2020. What are we in 2025? So late 24. August, September, October-ish, because the mattress store since inflation hit, we noticed a major decline in sales from 22, 23, and 24 going down like this, and that's a lot. Oh, like huge numbers, 20% a year, big numbers, down from millions in sales to 2020, 2020. I'm not going to do all the math for you, but it's a lot. And I said to my wife, I'm like, baby, we have to do something because that supported my family, helps my mom pay all her bills. I support my mom. And it wasn't anymore. It got that bad. And I said, we got to do something. We're going to have to figure something out. Otherwise, we're not going to make it. And I don't tell her how bad it is, by the way. I just say, hey, it's not that good right now. So we need to do something. It wasn't that drastic. So otherwise, she'd freak out and have a heart attack. And I don't have to worry about her listening to this because she doesn't listen to my podcast.
Oh, good.
So we're fine.
Okay. I was going to say, are you selling yourself out by telling her
No.
that?
No. She will not listen to this. She's like, she hears me enough at the house. But anyway, where was I? So late of 24, I said, you know what, let's do our own wellness center. And what we'll do is we'll carve out, to mitigate the risk, because we'll carve out a spot in the mattress showroom. So in our mattress showroom, existing showroom in Kearny Mesa, I took half of the showroom, took the mattresses out and said, we'll put it right here to mitigate the risk. Because let's try a business model then I did research with my guy, Brian, saying, where do we go with the price point? Let's go lower than it's ever been done before. Let's see if we can make it work. And so we did in the same showroom because Real Deal Sleep's still paying the bills of the building. We already have a lease. We already have everything, the landlord, everything, electric. It's being paid by Real Deal Sleep. So if this 99 isn't sustainable, we'll figure it out real quick. Whereas if we had started a brand new business in a standalone location and it flopped and it wasn't sustainable, it's a disaster. And a buddy of mine from Real Deal, Awaken Pathfinder program, him and his wife, I'm not going to name it publicly because we usually keep that. He wanted to kind of keep that quiet, I guess. But I'll say it. David and Kelly Ewing. I needed a loan to get this off the ground because it cost, the cryo chamber loan's $100,000. It's $100,000 just for the cryo chamber. One cryo chamber. Yeah. Red light booth, sauna, massage chairs. So I took they gave me a freaking personal loan to do it. They said, JD, we believe in you. And that's with literally from a thought saying, baby, my wife, we got to do this. Within 6 months from that point, we were launching and it was that quick. So folks, if you want to do something, make the freaking decision. That's one thing I've become so comfortable with taking risk. I don't give a shit. I'll let it fly. I will borrow money from anybody. I don't care. Credit cards, financing, Stripe, Shopify, credit card. I don't care. You got to be willing to take risks. Because at the end of the day, if you can't flip the bill, so what? Get the attorneys, negotiate, have a nice day. I'm not going to go down this tangent.
Yeah, JD, interesting.
Be okay with taking freaking risks because it doesn't matter. All the elites, they keep doing it. They're all declaring, I'm not saying declare bankruptcy, but you've got guys like Walt Disney declared bankruptcy 7 times.
Yeah. You know, it's fascinating that you say this. Remember when we were talking about the cost of money?
Yeah.
What can you do when you understand money?
It's everything. When you can leverage money, and that's what it's all about. Properly leveraging money is what it's all about. Like right now, I got to get another red light, another sauna. I now, because I have clout with the suppliers, they're going to let me finance it. I said, hey, would you finance in-house credit, interest-free for me? They said, JD, you're on your 3rd one. Done. 12 months interest-free. have a nice day. Because
Well,
I'm leveraging the money.
And you have proof of concept.
Correct.
You have people that are willing to invest. And
Oh, yeah.
How are investors with investing in bad things? They don't.
Well, it's very interesting the way that's going, because I have 15 people, a list of people that have told me they want to invest in this.
Of course they do.
I'm going down the list right now to find our first investor for the first standalone location, which is going to be in Poway, most likely. Anyway, the point is very fascinating to see who's a fit.
And actually, I think this is a great opportunity. So these are, having been in this space, because we never got into how I got into social media. And I use social media for one simple thing. When I got into this industry with real estate, I didn't want to blend in with everybody else.
Yeah.
So I figured, hey, look, I got to have a competitive advantage that stands out. And what I want to share with your audience, like, you have goals. Your goal is to go on YouTube, you're franchising. This isn't one of those businesses, like, I think you're at the infancy of the explosion that's going to come because you have a unique value proposition that's way better than the value that the industry is providing.
Right.
So if I'm an investor, I'm jumping on this opportunity, salivating.
100%.
Did I capture it?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
That. Yes.
20 years. That's it.
Yeah. We're onto something. It's special. It's special. Yeah.
It couldn't happen to a better guy.
Thank you.
That.
Thank you.
That does matter. You want to see good things happen to good people.
Even so, let me point this out, and then I'm going to have you land the plane with. You're going to give me something to finish this out. But I want to mention this. As great as an opportunity this is, and it makes sense to you, to me. We're disrupting an industry.
Yes.
It's an industry disruptor, and when you have that, that's a major opportunity for an investor. Major opportunity. However, what we're seeing so far is people that have said they want to invest. Once we let them know where we're at, we're in the infancy stages. This is basically a startup at this point.
Yeah.
Right. It's an idea. It's amazing to see how many are apprehensive. That I don't know. Can I see financials? Can I see this? Can I see that? I'm like, guys, we're a startup. Here's the pro forma. Here's where we're going. Here's what's going to happen. It's amazing how many already are like, oh, I don't know if I'm willing to vet. Like, they're not willing to invest this early because they don't either see it, or they're too scared of taking the risk in the beginning of the startup, quote unquote. It's fascinating, even though we think this is we know this is a home run. But what I'm coming across right now is because I'm fielding investors as we speak. So if you're watching this, you want to invest, let me know.
Yes.
But I'm being very, very picky with who we go into business with. If you are all about numbers and money, you're not if you are about the cause and changing the world and impacting things and creating a health and wellness movement by making it affordable and accessible to everybody, then we can talk. But if you're just money, fine. You're done. Don't even talk to me. The point is, it's fascinating how many aren't willing to jump in at this point.
They're not looking at the whole picture.
Yeah.
What they're missing, what they're missing is your personal brand.
Yeah.
The reason why this will hit is when you have a personal brand, you can articulate what the vision is better than anyone, and that passion and connection is felt. So once you start running paid ads, that's why I'm so excited. Can we give a shout out to Michael Carrillo?
Yes, Michael Carrillo.
Okay,
yeah.
Carrillo. I always I don't know why.
I think it's Carrillo because he's not Mexican. He's freaking
Carrillo.
He's Filipino.
So thank you for
but right, Filipino. Yeah. So it's not Carrillo. That's the Mexican.
I don't know why I say
that's the way I say it.
And he's never corrected me. I'm actually Carrillo.
Yeah.
Carrillo. Okay. So
with Winner Marketing, his company's Winner, WYNNER, Winner Marketing.
Yes.
And Tony Hernandez, he's now the podcast producer who's on site. Tony is the shooter, the podcast producer. He does content creation. He does content. He's the one who's actually getting out all my podcast content right now, Tony Hernandez. So if you want to be in contact with him, he is phenomenal, super nice guy. He's a believer. He goes to Waken Church. So he's the one who took over the podcast. And I want to shout out my guy, Andy Cruz, has been a beloved man of mine. He's one of my podcast producers. We do the fighter interviews together. He's just the greatest guy. So anyway, we've got a network of people that we can help you get off the ground if you want to launch your podcast, whatever you want to do. So want to throw that quick shout out there as well. So you said paid ads and all that.
So you have the reason why you have the whole package, and I wanted to give a shout out to Michael is because marketing agencies are probably one of the worst industries I've experienced. No entrepreneur do I ever meet.
It's a nightmare, really.
I have a service announcement for all of you. Like, you are dealing with entrepreneurs, you better learn how to interact with professionals because your industry is actually embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you don't know how easy you make it for actual entrepreneurs that believe in value to take away your clients. Like, it is sad what they do, because what they do is they follow all these Alex Hermosi strategies without actually being experts at what they do. And they think that entrepreneurs are going to be happy with getting subpar quality content because you spit a great game. That is not value. That is basically a business that's guaranteed to fail.
Yeah.
So how I personally think your investors, if your investors saw the big picture, which is, oh shit,
yeah,
this guy has the brand, he's got the network. Okay, your network is super rich.
Yeah.
And one of my millionaire buddies told me this. He's like, bro, like, the one thing you never get access to is my network. My network is mine.
Yeah.
Like, you got to earn your way into that. And so I think that's the next wave. Do you know, like, Cody Sanchez?
Heard of the name.
Okay, she is wild. So, like, 70% of baby boomers own like 50 or 60% of all businesses. Those people are not going to be around.
Right.
So if I was buying a business, I would be going and buying an established business. You are disrupting your industry because it's overpriced, under-delivered value. You're like, oh, sweet. There you go. I'll make this easy. Like Uber.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to get into a stranger's car in 10 years and you're going to be perfectly fine with it.
Never.
So I'm super excited when people see the opportunity. And the fun part of this is this. Like, I think that there are powerhouses like you, that Jeff Finster, there's so many great people, Dan Fulkerson, there's so many great people. And once we bring these people together, you have the collaboration.
Yeah.
You start,
that's special.
Actually, you start pulling your paid ads together. Like, I would 1000%, I'm going to go and leave you a 5-star review. I'm going to encourage my audience to subscribe to your podcast, because the value that you're bringing to people, lives getting better, I can't put a price on that.
Yeah.
And you're not charging for it.
Right.
That's the funny thing. Like,
not at all.
You could go to YouTube and you could get this education and it's available. And if somebody in San Diego wanted to reach out to JD and say, hey, JD, I'm a young man. I'm 25 years old. I've lost all hope and purpose. Would you mind giving me 5 minutes of your time? Maybe.
Yeah.
But you never know unless you send that message or make that phone call. And I think that's the incredible part about the city that we're in. San Diego is absolutely an incredible town. There's incredible people. Be open to opportunities. Stop shutting things down and then step up for yourself. If inflation is too high, if cost of everything is going up, get a passive income.
Yeah.
Think about how you can bring another person value that can bring you value.
Yep.
And then at the end of the day, life is about, like, we get one chance at it.
That's it.
One body, one family, hopefully, whatever. At the end of the day, I just want to leave this planet with a legacy of happiness. Like, I did what I was supposed to do for my kids. I changed some young person's life. They were empowered to do more, and they pay it forward. As long as I can leave that impact, I'm good. Like, 2 or 3 people say some cool things about me. Yes, job done.
And you went, and let me recap, folks. We're going to land this plane here, but Ollie went from almost 400 pounds not that long ago, not wanting to be on the planet anymore, to what you just saw in this interview, this passionate, energetic, faith-driven, God-believing guy that has not only purpose, but just loves people, loves helping people. Look at this, bro. Look at this. So if this guy right here in front of me can make that kind of a turnaround in a very short period of time, in less than 5 years, to where you are now, from basically thinking you're useless, no purpose, wanting to pretty much be done and end your life, not be a part of this anymore, to now making an incredible impact. If he can do it, there's no excuse.
There's nothing special about me. There's nothing special.
You just made the decision to make a change.
I decided to get out of my own way.
That's it. And remember, folks, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. That's a good one.
It is a good one. And it's so true. Like my favorite one now, change only comes when you change. Get them.
Yeah. So simple. So
okay, how I did have a question for you.
Yeah.
This is how I wanna sign off.
Okay.
Favorite episode and favorite moment from an episode.
Bam.
Episode of here?
Yeah.
On here?
On Real Deal Talk.
I can't tell.
Most powerful guest.
Gosh, there's so many.
Okay.
The
one that jumps into your mind.
The one
right
that
now.
jumps in my head immediately, and I'm going to shout my dude out here, and he's obviously fresh in my mind because I just saw him at the Emerge conference. Was Byron Rogers.
Okay.
Ooh.
But there's so many special moments and so many special guests and so many special stories. But for some reason, Byron Rogers' whole entire interview, he's the private security guy for Victor Marx. And they travel all over the world and do gnarly recon missions to get girls out of, you heard the story, girls out of trafficking. And he's just a bad dude, badass. And he's a fly-looking dude. His interview, man, was so powerful. And I just wanted to dig into his private security. But he just got on to the kingdom and God a lot. And that was so special because the way he laid it out and the amount of people that have told me that they're now going to church because of that interview, to me, people that have been inspired enough to see that was everything for me. So I'm gonna right off the cuff, Byron Rogers. Tune in if you haven't seen it.
And I'm gonna have to tune in because that's the third time you brought that up.
Yeah,
so
JD, powerful.
I genuinely I can't thank you enough. Like I've gone on a lot of podcasts. I've hosted a lot of podcasts. I had so much fun, like being real. And that's the tip that I would give anyone. When you are honored to get this opportunity on someone's show, make sure you're thankful. Make sure you go above and beyond because they're dedicating their time, their research, their resources. It's just an incredible way that we all get to connect with each other and help bring value and get better. So thank you for doing this because we got to do more of this to help everyone else.
It's been a pleasure. It's been my pleasure. It's been my honor, bro, to have you on. We connected, by the way, folks, at Emerge conference this past weekend. And he said, bro, I want to come in. And I said, and I texted him on, was it Monday?
Yeah.
I said, hey, my guest had to reschedule from Thursday. Can you get in there? He said, I'm there. Like literally within 2-day notice. This just happened. We just got to know each other. I met you one time before we interacted. We said 5 words to each other.
And this happened off of we've literally, I think, had a 15, 20 minutes.
At the most.
At the most.
So, folks, look at this as an example of how important it is to connect with other individuals. Because this now is going to turn into a relationship, not only with what you do in your professional life with mortgages and mortgage advisor, but how you help brands. And look at this connection that we literally just made within the past week, basically. And now here you are, and we're flowing for almost 2.5.
Is it 2.5 hours?
Oh, yeah, we're 2.5 hours. So there you go.
Wow.
It's been an honor, a pleasure, bro. Love you, man. I can't wait to see where this goes, where we go, where we go now, and the impact that we make together. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Real Deal Talk. Have a nice day.